Пусть исполнится то, что задумал. Пусть они поверят. И пусть посмеются над своими страстями. Ведь то, что они называют страстью, на самом деле не душевная энергия, а лишь трение между душой и внешним миром. А главное, пусть поверят в себя и станут беспомощными, как дети. Потому что слабость велика, а сила ничтожна. Когда человек родится, он слаб и дик. Когда умирает, он крепок и черств. Когда дерево растет, оно нежно и гибко. А когда оно сухо, жестко, оно ловит. Черствость и сила – путники смерти. Гибкость и слабость выражают свежесть бытия. Поэтому, что отвертело, то не победит.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another day of VCS action. And of course, we're saying, oh my god, I've got the stream open on my phone and didn't mute it. Jesus Christ. Good start. But we are here for the match of the week, and because it is such a big match, we've brought in a second brain to help us get through this one. Might notice we're starting a bit early because we've got a lot to talk about. But Vinny, welcome to the stream. Obviously, I am every day, and Yulwei is with me as well. How are we tonight, both of you?
Warm welcome.
Very, very good.
I'm glad.
Keen to watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So we do have GAM versus Flash. Now, GAM already looking insanely dominant this split. No one has come close to matching them. It's been pretty absurd, to say the least. Some of the most dominating performances I've ever seen. So,
But they lost a little bit of their average gold lead at 15. They went from 5,700 to 5,100. So,
Oh no!
Oh, but Flash touted as possibly the Kingslayers this split. Few of us, not me, but a few people did have them winning the split. I'm just covering myself because current appearances.
I didn't.
Okay, I know Yulwei did. Yulwei definitely did.
Second.
there we go. The flame is starting early today.
But it's all right. I mean, we don't know. Maybe Flash will win. But to sort of think about it, where do we think it starts for Flash? I think overall their lanes do have better CSD.
So, I think for Flash, the first thing that comes to mind for me, and the first thing I thought about when I ranked them number one, they are very good laners. They have super good individual players. Yoshino is leading, is only like 4 CSD behind Kiaya in second place for top lane. Kati is the player with the highest CS per minute in the whole league with more than 10. With Slater also dominating lane at plus 9.4 CS at 15 minutes. So all three laners very good in lane. They are up on average 1,700 gold, which seems quite low if you compare it to GAM's average, but it's actually quite high. So Flash is still a super good early game team. They need to work on their mid game macro and their coordination as a team to get better, though.
Absolutely.
And I think the biggest issue is the fact that Serg is inting the draft phase.
Serg obviously being
And
Flash's coach.
Flash's coach.
Might not know. Yeah, the draft has been pretty horrendous.
And very
good-
one-dimensional as well.
Yeah.
They've drafted the same
Yeah.
composition over and over again. 3 games on Zarya, 3 games on Blitzcrank, 4 games on Ryze. So easy to
And-
know what they want to play.
Yeah,
Very,
very
very
easy to know
easy.
what they want. Slater is overlooking so many good like meta champions to favor the Zarya and Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
In
Kai'Sa in particular.
Series versus FTV, MF went untouched multiple times, and against both games, and against EVOS, Aphelios just fell through.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous too.
It's absurd. And then
Same goes for
if
Yoshino, really.
yeah, Yoshino has played one champion who you'd consider meta.
And even Renekton is not that great right now. Not a whole lot of people play
No.
Renekton. So he's
No.
played Fiora twice, Jace twice, and weird champion pool.
He's like trying to split push forever, and
Yeah.
but I mean the Jace picks were not good.
No.
Jace is just not a good champion right now.
No, he's not.
Fiora was a lot better.
It's
Fiora
also one of
worked for the
Yoshino's
most part.
classics. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think we praised Yuna a lot for drafting. I think Yuna and I forgot the name of the EVOS coach are the two Violet, right? Violet.
Violet. He looks
those
good.
are the two
His
strongest drafters right now. Also very aware of the meta champs. Set twice for Kiaya already. We've seen Cassiopeia priority for DR1, also Lucian in the mid lane, Aphelios, Varus, Senna for Blazes. No MF game yet. Well, maybe he'll get to play that one now. And Braum, Nautilus, Leona, and Tom Kench for Palette. So all meta champs for GAM. I think that's the big advantage for GAM as well coming into today. But maybe Flash and Surge have actually researched a little bit more and will be better this week.
Yeah,
I certainly hope so.
I mean, the thing is, Flash has to be looking at this series as a huge opportunity. If you were to beat GAM, and I mean, that's not going to be easy, even with a good draft. It's a huge boon for your season because not many people are going to beat GAM. So that's a point you have over the rest of the league. You have to think they've been looking at their drafts and going, we're not drafting well. We need to practice this. We're going to do scrims with, 10.2 meta. I mean, at least I'm hoping.
I worry their wins lead them into a false sense of security there.
They've got a loss as well.
Jace is 2-0.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost against EVOS. They were more than 2k gold up at 15. So that's a series you never want to lose. So that should have definitely ring some alarm bells. But another interesting thing for Flash is they are two wins on red side, two wins out of 2 red side games, and only 1 and 3 in blue side. They strike me as a typical red side team with very strong laners. You can go for counter picks. That's hopefully a good strategy into GAM as well. Maybe try to counter pick, exploit the top lane, maybe even the mid lane matchup, and mid lane will be rough with DR1 smurfing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go on.
I was going to say, I think one thing to think about is we're talking a lot about Flash here because it really is Flash that has to prove things to us. If GAM plays like GAM, exactly. Yeah. GAM is already on top of the mountain. They're looking down at everyone else, and we have to see if Flash can possibly climb that. What champion picks? Obviously, we've talked about how Flash has been really inting draft. It's been really bad. What would you like to see them pick? Because I think the area they need to break open is lane. I think they need to just have a big lead in lane and snowball that. So what champions would we like to see potentially picked up? Vinny, if you want to take it away.
A champion, well, for starters in the bot lane, I want to see them play anything except Zarya Kai'Sa. MF is pretty lane dominant. She's easy to play. If Slater can't play MF,
I mean, I can play MF.
How?
I can play MF.
If he can't just kick him out, make Stark play bot lane. So
I'd like to see
Priority-
last pick counter for top lane as well, maybe.
last pick counter for top lane, I think, is probably more important. Kati, if you can get him Rise, just get him Rise.
Yeah,
He's
get
good
him
on
Rise.
Rise.
Just put him on Rise. Try to
Just
survive.
put him on
against
Rise
the
if you can. He's looked good pretty much throughout. Granted, he's only played 2 champions, but even his Irelia looked good.
Yeah. I agree. He's a pleasant
Yeah,
surprise.
just the bot lane. I think you need to put a lot of priority into your bot lane. Pick Ashe. It's
yeah,
really,
I wouldn't mind
it's
Ashe.
really strong.
It is strong. But do you think it's lane strong? I think that's what Flash has to do.
Yeah,
Ashe is very
Yeah.
good in lane, yeah.
Okay.
Ashe is a really good lane phase.
I feel like she
the
needs
W
I'd
more.
like to see
I don't think-
Aphelios as well, just
Intense.
for more carry potential in late game for Slater.
As I said,
honestly.
any of the meta champions. please.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
that's absolutely correct.
The other matchup I think is important because I feel like you can't do much about the mid lane. I feel like we just
No,
need to have.
Just put Rise. Put him on Rise, Ben
Yeah.
Cassio. Hope you survive Slater.
Try and
Yeah, so I think
just try
Yoshino into Kiaya, which of course is a bit of a battle of former
That is so
teammates.
exciting.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Potentially have very good reads on how each other play. But I think Yoshino looked better last split.
He
in
did,
the games
yeah,
we saw
and
him. He didn't play the whole split, obviously.
this-
So I think Yoshino is a point of strength for Flash. What would we like to see him doing? Picks, playstyle, whatever.
Not pick Jace, please.
Not pick Jace. That's a good start.
I think he has been good on the Fioras. He's one of the Fiora losses was against Evos. He was 7-1. He dominated lane once again.
Yeah,
Split pushed. Be a little bit more
That was
aware of
just-
where your team goes and try to not pick Jace.
yeah.
Do your best
Um,
not to click on the J. That's all you need to do.
Absolutely. If Yoshino can grab like a good set matchup where he's the set, or even if he can play Raka, that sounds weird, but
Raka's not a split push champion, but it would be
I know.
interesting. Neutralizing
Stone's-
Kiaya is
as
valid.
much as I love 1-3-1 and split push and all that, I don't think it's going to do that.
Yeah,
good
maybe you're not
into,
quite at the stage where you should for split push yet. For
split
for Flash.
pushing into GAM. I think you really risk the if you, considering Yoshino is probably your best player.
Probably.
Putting him alone while GAM just steamrolls the rest of your team is probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, not.
We've all had the game where you're like, I'm pushing on this turret, and why are they taking my inhibitor?
I think the first little goal for Flash is just to survive the first 10 minutes without dying, which will be hard because no one has managed to do so far against GAM.
Yeah,
GAM's signature play this split, I think, is just 4-man dive bot lane, and they have
I was about
succeeded
to
so
say
many
that.
times.
I was
There
about
was
to say
one.
that.
There was one game. It was EVOS, and GAM specifically picked a really late game comp. And then Levi inted in the first, 5 minutes. So
Ah, yeah.
that was the only game where they survived the
They
first
still
10
were
minutes.
ahead 3k gold at 10 minutes, though, right?
It's-
'Cause
Yeah, GAM
5 minutes were bad, and then they turned it around straight away.
still smashed that game.
So we have
it was-
gone into champion select here, so
Yay.
just have to do a little bit of production things. Vinny, if you can stick around for draft, I think that'll be a good one
Yes.
too, because then I don't have. But the bans are coming in. Blitzcrank being removed. That is a direct target ban on CBL.
That is interesting.
So far, it's all he's
So-
won on.
So now Tom Kench is available.
He is playable.
We see the Tristana ban, which seems a direct target at DO1. Or, though I guess
Actually.
Blazers could play it.
Solid
And
bans from Flash,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
yes.
So far, these look good. Levi really loves his Kiana. The Elise is part of that 5-minute dive. I'm liking it so far. Let's see what the last one
And
is.
there's the Zaya ban.
Yeah, that's a good call, actually.
I actually
So-
think that's smart.
Test Slater, yeah. If he goes to
Oh.
Kaiser, you've actually already won draft, right? So, once again, set first pick, very
Not a good
Asian thing to do.
Not a great first pick, but it's still solid.
Is Kiaya
Yeah.
ready to play the Soraka? Oh, Syndra is still open. That is a good call.
Syndra is open. And
It
that's
is.
gonna go.
Yeah, you guys are just a little bit ahead of me, but you're coming from the future.
No.
Truly the greatest of analysis.
Dude, I'll just stop.
And
I think
Levi gets his Lee
Yulwei's
Sin.
ahead.
Yeah. And Levi does pick up the Lee Sin. Very strong champion for him. Good start to the draft for GAM already.
Yeah, potentially a
Flash-
super strong mid lane 2v2, but Blaze is also a former mid laner, so potential to flex that Syndra down to the bot lane.
Okay, I like this. Gragas is... Oh no. It's just gonna be Rek'Sai.
Okay.
Never
Would've
mind.
loved the Gragas.
Rek'Sai's still good.
Matchup, though, yeah?
Rek'Sai's still good. It's a soft counter. It's a good... It falls off really hard though. I think Gragas is one of the best junglers, but maybe not. Might not be the case in Vietnam.
Expect the rise here in this spot, I have to say.
Yeah.
For Cardi.
Yeah, I think they need to pick the Rise here. It's been Cardi's biggest
Rise
game.
or an AD carry.
Huh.
It's a Nautilus for CBM. Okay.
Alice Moulding, even though he can't see the straw.
He senses it from countries away.
Nautilus isn't a bad.
I feel like it's a
But-
bad pick there.
Oh wow. They just handshake the bot lane.
That's it.
That's okay. No ADC picked yet. No mid laner either. That's interesting. So we might
But
get
GAM
to see
gets
more
first pick, so we're gonna see. I think they'll target the AD carry.
ADCs. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And then flex Syndra to the bot lane. They still have that
Or-
out.
That's also an option.
Yes, set
But I
up the
think-
Lucian pick here. Ban
But you
all
can-
the bot lane ADCs, pick Lucian, and then send Syndra to the bot lane. That
You
would
can
be my
ban
favorite
like
strategy.
I would just say ban Senna, ban
MF.
MF, and then pick Lucian, or
Why would they ban
one of
Cassio?
those. One of those.
What?
That's
That's
an interesting read to ban the Cassio. Carti hasn't shown it.
GAM trying to draft against themselves?
Like a Rise ban, I might have understood.
Yeah. Okay.
I
everything's-
definitely like the idea of
Yeah.
pinching the ADC pool.
Mordekaiser makes sense.
All right, pinching top makes sense because try and give Yoshino a better set matchup. Mordekaiser's
many
probably not one of those ones, but
The big elephant in the room is the Soraka. Is Ki actually able to play the Soraka here? Very good setup for him to pick it.
If any team
Yes.
can play it, it's GAM.
there's the Rise. So they're pinching mid. They're pinching mid, which lends some credibility to the to probably just Syndra staying
Yeah.
where she is in the mid lane.
Cardi needs to show us a different champ, because I really are not too likely here, I'd say. It would be triple AD topside, not the greatest setup, so they need an AP tool, or AP champ in the mid lane.
But AP Kai'Sa.
Oh god, no.
I mean, I
Wait,
genuinely think that's what we're gonna. And Akali's been left up.
We forgot about it.
Akali is. How did Akali get this far?
I always
Okay,
assume she's banned.
Yes, yes, yes.
Are we gonna see it?
Oh,
This isn't bait. No, this is a bait hopper.
That makes more.
Akali's
that
up.
seems much more. That seems much more like a Kiaya champion.
You can still go Soraka. You can go Syndra bot
can.
lane, Soraka top.
You can go
A little
Soraka.
heavy on the
bot lane.
magic damage though.
A little
You
bit.
could go Soraka bot lane. It's
Also,
a thing.
Akali crushes Set.
No,
Not a
that's
good
good.
matchup.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not a good match. I cannot believe.
Oh,
Oh,
got
please.
we all forgot about
Yes, a rumble
This is
finally.
so Soraka now. Oh my god. Soraka's a hard counter to set and rumble.
It's not gonna
Come on.
happen your way.
Dude.
It's not
can
gonna
do it.
happen.
Soraka bot. Come on, Slater.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you gonna pick? What are you gonna pick?
I mean, the Soraka's not good for Flash.
That's
It's
good to
great for
see.
GAM. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
it's
good
very
for.
good for GAM.
Yay! Oh, hello, Pantheon.
Hello, Pantheon. If this
so
is
this
tier
would
on-
mean
Wait,
DR1
Deer on
Pantheon.
Pantheon.
Yeah.
Could be
If it-
Tier 1 Akali. I don't think that's
very
a good
explosive
matchup.
team composition. Interesting.
You know, they get to lock it in. We'll have to see.
There we go.
there we go.
Okay?
Very early game focused comp from GAM.
That it is. I mean, Do we think it will be Tier1 Pantheon? I think so.
Yeah.
It's an easy match into Rumble.
I think Akali struggles into Rumble. She gets pushed in under turret. That's you never want to give the Rumble the free roam, so they try to pick something that can contain the Rumble in lane, maybe even go for solo kills. It's not the worst strength, but they need to snowball the Akali. I think the Akali is basically the only late game tool here.
They need to snowball out anything. They have no consistent damage. They have no consistent damage, so Baron take is going to be difficult. Objective control. I favor Feltlash's comp overall.
Absolutely.
I think actually they drafted well. Slater being able to actually play MF, very important.
Draft MF. We have not seen him play MF.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But
one thing with the Pantheon pick, I just want to point out quickly, is that makes that bot lane dive so much easier. Pantheon is ridiculously good in dive.
Yeah. Also, Leona can tank forever. Blazes can set up the very long range stun engage, so very strong dive.
There's a lot of CC there.
That there is, but thank you, Vinny. We will be heading momentarily onto the Rift, so we'll see you again between games for a little bit more chat about analysis. Always good to have you. But as we get ready to go onto the Rift, overall, I agree. If you turn the nameplates off, Flash is looking pretty hot. When you turn the nameplates back on, what would you give them out of 100? If you play this match 100 times, how many does Flash win?
Ooh, with the current form of GAM, I still believe in GAM, even though they picked themselves into a little bit of a corner. But I think they can execute on the early game. So far, 5,000 gold average gold lead at 15 minutes. So I'd say 60-40, maybe even a little bit more, 65-35. But yeah, the composition looks good for Flash. Set first pick. Ooh, this interesting set going with the grass. What do you think of that, set expert?
That's awful. I think that's really, really bad.
There we go.
Partially matchup. Like what the Akali matchup is so horrible that maybe you have to go grass to survive. But I think you're just completely new to yourself going forward in the team fights. I just don't think he does anything. You'll never be able to split push. You'll never really be able to have much of an impact in team fights. I don't like this whatsoever.
Another thing I want to point out
he'll go full tank this game, though. I actually think it's correct.
Dia going with the Ignite. Very aggressive setup for the mid laner. I really like this one. I think he should try to force solo kills or try to force extended trades, or not even extended trades, short trades with the Pantheon burst on the Rumble and just push him out of lane as often as he can. Dia so far has looked like the strongest player in the league, the best player in the league. And I'm very interested to see what he can do on this melee mid laner, Jam. Usually he's very much a ranged mid laner, Cassiopeia, Lucian, Tristana. So
that said, he does play the Lucian and Kiana who do want to fight early. So that's pretty good for the Pantheon. He wants to be getting aggressive trades. As level 1, this goes in favor of Set, but trust me, that will turn very, very quickly once Kiaya has access to a field.
Nothing too interesting happening in the jungle. Yesterday we saw Evo's setup invades every game, basically. But this time, they're just handshaking on bot side jungle, so not a whole lot happening. Both pathing towards top side's secondary, so might look into ganking top side. Very hard to do against Akali on 10-2, so
very, very hard.
More danger for Yoshino potentially. Did you want to go there, Eugen? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Just going to get a ward, of course.
Of course.
What else?
Just wanted to scout.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake. A bit of a silly one as well. He is ahead in the jungle clear, or at least was, because he got a leash on his first buff, while Levi did not.
Yep.
But I feel like it's actually a little bit closer than it should be because of that little mistake. These things do matter.
Yeah, Levi's now heading towards bot side crab, ignoring his not Grump Kruk camp. on the top side.
Still fine on this patch.
But
Rugs
Flash
still
has
pretty
priority on the bot lane invade, so so Levan has to give this one up. So first big victory for Flash, probably securing both Scuttle Crabs and a level lead for Yijin.
We may have to rethink because I'm only just seeing this, but potential for the fight. There is a lot of engage for GAM as Dia pushing forward throws the spear, but the thrown Pantheon spear is a little bit of a wet noodle. Doesn't do very much at all. Still, this matchup in the top lane, equal for now, as the Kiaya be able to farm up under tower. Where's the break point going to be?
It's not too difficult a matchup, right? He should be able to farm at least, especially if he goes pretty tanky.
I want to see an early Spirit Visage. Ooh, he's actually getting a very good trade there. Kiaya does manage to dodge out of the Haymaker. Unfortunately, Yoshino just doesn't have it to actually finish anything. But still, getting Akali out of lane is a very good effort. I'd love to see how that trade started. I imagine it was just a face breaker.
Lane now. Might actually still lose the cannon minion with the TP with the turret prioritizing cannon minions. Certainly we don't see the top lane right now, but it seems like he missed a few CS there. Double cloth armor as well, so he seems to be struggling in this matchup more than you anticipated.
Yeah, I agree. I think it comes down to a little bit later.
Oh,
wow. Yijin just being horribly caught out here and does go down. Palette getting first blood.
Blazes outplayed him so
really
hard
did.
there. Also a little bit ill-advised of Yijin to go there with half HP. Very risky into Syndra, even though she's not level 6 yet.
Yeah, actually losing these pretty hard. I'm coming around. Oh, never mind. As he's going forward, he's only level 5, so can't finish anything off.
There was a kill in the mid lane as well.
Okay. Kati's dead.
Yep. As I talked about before, a very good matchup for Pantheon to go for solo kills, and it happened. So now top lane looks like
Yoshino
damage hit.
In some trouble.
Level 5
there is a shield. There's the suplex, and Yoshino wins it out on barely any health.
Yep, that
very
was
close.
A big mistake from Kiaya. That was so silly from Kiaya. Just wait a few more minutes and go for the very easy kill on level 6. I think he had the kill level 6 very
Absolutely.
easily.
It wasn't even close if it was level 6 to level 6. But this is a pretty big deal. A screw up there from Kiaya does put Yoshino in a position where he's ahead. He should never really be ahead in this matchup. I'm sort of seeing the grasp. I'm coming around on it a little bit in this matchup.
You think it's good for more sustain? Yeah.
I think because you can't trade in an extended situation with Akali. It's just not going to happen.
Makes sense.
So I actually think it's not too bad. So I think he can go even in lane, but Kiaya, with that absolute blunder, just gives away. But here comes the solo kill. Oh, Kati just stepped up and got rocked.
Well, Pantheon, thanks.
Oh, the ignite killed him after the scrap shield. Yep, Pantheon.
And now Pantheon is level 6. Used his ult. I'm not quite sure what.
Probably to get back
potentially
to lane.
To get back to lane. Interesting. So getting the cheater recall in, even though he didn't go for the TP. Not the biggest fan, I have to say. Maybe he had to do it because of lane state, but usually you want to use the first Pantheon ult to accelerate at side lanes. Maybe even try to get a good trade for Kiaya and top lane and get him back into the game, because now, I mean, at least Kiaya is caught up in CS, but he's still pretty far behind, and way far behind his item breakpoint. Does not go for the Gunblade first, which is a little bit of a struggle then for the Akali.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and the Tiamat's completed. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about going Tiamat in this matchup. I feel like, Yoshino, you got a kill, but it was much more because of Kiaya's mistake rather than you actually winning the matchup. But a lot of damage coming in. I think a Spirit Visage...
Not sure what Kiaya is doing here.
Yeah, I feel like Kiaya is playing this Akali pretty badly. Also, I would have liked to see the fleet footwork from Kiaya. I think taking the short trade to get set is actually...
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I agree. I didn't think he would struggle this much, but Yeah, I think Conqueror is usually fine into set, where you can just farm from range and then pick the fights you want to pick. But it seems like Yoshino is very able to pick his own fights, and that's not what Kiaya wanted coming into this lane.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm being made to look a little bit silly. Oh no, but here's the hook going on onto Paulette. Yijin is here, potentially trying to find something.
Flash.
Well done by Blades. Knock away Paulette. I don't think you wanted that
Holy
stun, but never mind.
moly.
Unleashed power is used to get the 1-for-1 in the end. And the flash from CBL, as the Grand Starfall was called.
Yeah.
Alt force.
This is the reason you never want to gank Syndra lane.
Yeah, you just die.
She just turns around and eats you for breakfast. At least it's a 1-for-1 trade, but actually not too great, especially because the kill. Okay, both kills went over to the ADCs, but it bought time for Leeway on the other side of the map to secure another objective to accelerate the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like the time that it happened was very much in favor of the Syndra. It has got the lost chapter compared to just an extra Doran's. Actually, no, I'm telling a lie. Slater didn't die, so he hasn't bought yet. Up in this top lane, Rift Herald being instantly summoned up. The wave will be cleared.
Good wave clear. Yeah,
Yep.
Yoshino
Haymaker.
used his Haymaker there to clear the whole wave. And now Yijin and Cartier going top as well. Potential.
Yeah.
Okay. GAM just wanted to go for a few plates, which is good, especially giving over the plate gold to Kiaya. Very quick conversion on the gold, and Kiaya should be closer to the gold of Yoshino.
Yeah, potentially. That does potentially help this seemingly quite bad matchup, is Kiaya's been forced to go seek his arm guard first against Set. That's a little bit brutal, honestly. That Gunblade's going to be super delayed, and I think Kiaya is going to fall further and further down into this hole.
Yeah,
this
especially
looks good
as
so far for Flash.
He's still far behind in experience as well.
Yeah.
And with the grasp and the innate tankiness of Set, it's very hard for Kiaya to even attempt a solo kill, right? So
yeah,
he'll probably not get a kill. Flash now with priority over Dragon. They don't want to immediately go for this Dragon. Will cost them a lot of time and priority in lane. So maybe the better call to not go for the Dragon. Also quite risky into Blazes. Here's Flash and ulti up again.
Oh
but now,
no, CBL caught out here. Goes golden, but I don't think there's a way out of this one. Well done on the solar flare, but CBL does try and spider Nord away. The Lee Sin kick is not great as Slater intercepts Q. He's going back in though. The bullet time being used, doing so much damage. Paulette has to flash. Rumble and Set are here. Yoshino has to catch someone with the facebreaker. He flashes for it. Paulette should be going down, and the man bang is
faces
there.
were broken.
Faces were absolutely broken. They're going to try and continue this one. D1 flashing forward. The Haymaker used doesn't do enough. Yijin goes down. Cardi is tagged with the E. They're going to go in here. Oh my word. I don't know about this one, GAM. CBL should go down, and he does. But it's overall a 3 for 3. I think someone respawned.
No,
never mind, it's continuing. Yoshino with that huge Haymaker shield. Can he potentially find something? This is so risky here. Slater and Yoshino. That'll be a kill. He's trying to man drop away. And no, Yoshino! He misses, but he's still here. He was using it for the damage. Oh my god!
And it's 6 for 6. We're dead even in gold. This is the match of the week. Here we go. The first team that actually did something against the infamous GAM bot lane dive play. And 3-0Z. Here we go.
Yep, this is a very, very big deal. He's going towards his Titanic Hydra. It makes sense, I think. I don't think the Triforce is correct here. And are we getting round 2?
Do you remember? I don't think I have time to talk about this.
You might not hold the thought.
Super big mistake there. He didn't go for the ult on CBL, missed out on the first kill, and GAM really just wanted to get the kill on CBL. They didn't actually want to dive there, so a big mistake from Blazes.
Oh, the stun misses. Solar flare being used. They could find them here. Is the equalizer up? No, it's not. The red carpet can't be laid out, but there should be the Ocean Dragon for Flash.
I like the miss ping for Kiaya in the top lane. Like, my top lane is not here. Everyone in bot lane screams, yeah, we know. Get him out of here. Yeah. The classic.
Guys, I pinged Mia. Hello? I pinged.
So look at this again. Good stopwatch.
How did CBL survive?
Super good timing from Paulette. Yeah, CBL gets kicked away. Blazes, I think, has the opportunity to use ult here.
Yep.
Yeah,
He uses it onto Slater. He altered
Very
Slater
good
instead.
turnaround from Slater. Good understanding of when all the CC was gone, so he could channel this bullet time. For his 2 flashes, Yoshino flash facebreaker, nicely done. Gets the kill with the ult. Maybe should have waited for the ult, but he didn't think there would be re-engage.
The reason he used the ult was to get to safety.
So it looks like GAM has the damage to dive, and Levi thinks that he is safe here. But Yoshino with a good pullback once again gets another kill. Now it's Kiaya getting one, and now it's 2v2. This 2v2 was very silly. There was a little bit of a...
interestingness, but here we go, back to live. We've got a fight up in the top lane. Yoshino gets a big boy shield, but Grand Starfall is used. Yoshino, I don't think you're getting out of this one, uses the suplex to stop any threat of Kati going down as well, but it's a free kill, and we're 7-7, which means where did
there
the
was a
other
kill on bot lane.
Oh,
Blazes died.
Yep,
Blazes died to Slater.
Apparently, Blazes did die. Not 100% sure. You know what? I often flame the VN observers. Can't flame them this time, though. There's no way you're catching everything.
What I really like about this game is that Flash plays exactly to what I predicted about them before the season started, right? I was very high on Slater and Yoshino. And look at Slater and Yoshino. They are 4 kills and 3 kills into this game.
Yeah.
So just a nice flash engage from CBL.
Yep,
CBL. Nothing he can do. Oh, wow. Actually, super close. Syndra is dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, it was onto a support, and I think it was after the Aftershock had timed out. I think once the Gargoyles is picked up, that's not really a route to potentially get kills. Flash looking really good, but they're still 1,000 gold down.
Yeah, they are. They lost the first turret race. Couldn't actually go for the first turret in the bot lane. So first turret went down in the top lane. It's way easier now for Kiaya to farm, and he is actually caught up in CS as well. He took a little bit of a backseat in the last few minutes and let his other teammates make the play so he could catch up in CS. I like this play. Very good awareness of what he has to do in the game. He's still down in levels, though.
Yeah, and it's an important level. It is that level 11 for Yoshino. The suplex will be doing a lot, but it is Levi on top of Slater here, taking a lot of damage away, but doesn't get the kill yet. Ooh, we have the Rift Herald nearly going down here. Yijin is going to be able to smite it away. Kiaya taking a little bit of damage here. Good hook onto him, and there's the red carpet doing so much damage. The bullet time will not finish off Kiaya. 2 very, very low health bars as they're trying to get away here. And Flash will retreat with Shirley. They're happy with that.
Yep. I'm not sure if they are, because they lost inside track and mid lanes. They might actually...
True.
GAM is not making the play. Interesting. But yeah, Shirley secured for Flash. They can now look to maybe break open the mid lane turret or use the bot to get their first turret, because bot turret is damaged a little bit. Kiaya now finally level 12 as well. So we are heading into a very explosive mid game. We talked about Flash and GAM scaling though, and even though you said rightfully that GAM is ahead in gold, they need to be ahead in gold. Look at the champs. It's Pantheon. It's Syndra bot lane. They need to accelerate a little bit more. Flash actually quite comfortable in this game, especially with Slater sitting at 4 kills, 1 item completed already.
Yeah, absolutely. We finally get Slater playing a meta champion, and what do you know? They're actually pretty strong. As he's looking pretty fantastic early on. Let's see where Flash chooses to take an engagement, because I feel like it's on GAM to try and make a play and Flash to try and fend them off.
And we need to see Dia transition his lead into the game-winning play. He's 4-0-0, 400 gold shutdown on him. So he's super strong right now. He needs to land a good engage on Slater. Slater without the cleanse right now. I'm not sure if they have the time on that. Flash available, but Dia has Flash as well. So if Dia is able to get on top of Slater, Slater should die instantly. That's the play they are looking for.
Yeah, but he's got to get pretty close for that to happen, and there is a good amount of peel. If the Pantheon is charging forward and possibly uses the ult, Yoshino can always just carry him straight back out. It's one of the best uses of the set ult, in my opinion. It doesn't need to be used for engage. The teleport has been called. Kiaya coming in to the dragon fight. It is an infernal. Slater a little bit caught out. Has to flash. There's the Grand Starfall. Fantastic hook there, stopping the Pantheon. That's a really good equalizer as well, doing so much damage onto Blazers, but it so far is a 1-for-0. Will Flash try and take this 4v5 with the low health bars?
Oh, I really like this Herald spawn in the mid lane. Now GAM has to think about what they want to do. A lot of pressure, extra pressure in the mid lane, and Flash can now re-approach this dragon. But DR1 might catch. Oh, that was super close on the tunnel. Slater without his flash now. The flash was forced by the engage from Palette, another very good solar player. And then the hero play from the other support, CBL, stepping up as well, grabbing the Pantheon out of the Starfall, which
fantastic play. Yeah. He died for it, but it was him or Slater. Now, the Dragon has been started. Flash missing some very, very key ults. They do have the set, but they do not have bullet time or the equalizer. And there is Set slamming into the middle, 4 of them, instant face break and doing so much. The chunk onto Blazers as well. Yoshino still alive, flashes away. Oh my god, the Pit Grit doing so much. He will finally go down to Kiaya, but it's a bit of a slaughtering ground. 2 for 2 so far. Can CBL find a hook onto Dia? He can. Slater should be able to get this one. Never mind, CBL securing it just to be safe.
I mean, he deserved that one.
He did. He earned it. He earned it.
So good fight for Flash. This would be the fight we see a lot in GAM games, where GAM basically wins the game of the one fight. They break open the game. But this time Flash fights back and actually gets a lot of gold on the backhand of this play as well. Now only 400 gold down. And I mean, they are favored to win this game now. If you look at the compositions, even though it's Flash against GAM, the composition is favored to win this game.
Yeah, I think so. We could still have some epic VCS moments to potentially change who is favored. But watch Yoshino here. Of course, my eyes were glued to Set, and bang! Into 4. The face breaker coming in. Oh.
Also, Yoshino has to be a little bit angry at his at Heejin here, at his jungler, because he took away the enemy smite, engaged the fight as well, and then the smite still missed first jungler. So they still gave up the dragon. A little bit unfortunate there, but the dragon is not really relevant in this game. We are only at 2 dragons for GAM, so they are far away from the Infernal Dragon Soul. So even if we get to Infernal Soul, which would be like at 30 minutes, at that point, the composition for Flash is quite a lot stronger in teamfights. So maybe even Infernal Soul doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's also a very good, once it's turned on, Flash's team comp is very good at fighting around the neutral objectives. The equalizer, the suplex, the bullet time, it's all absolutely fantastic. Gijin's going to have to figure out how he behaves in a fight, but, you know, Rek'Sai's not really there to carry you in the late game. She's just going to be around to pop people up into the air and potentially get some chomp downs.
Yeah, if we look back to the last season, Flash had good players as well, but the big problem against GAM was the jungle matchup, right? Every time if Yijin faced Levi just smashed Yijin, outpathed him, ganked him as well. This time...
Nick is forced, but Levi's going to go back in. Has a team all around him. CBL with a very good hook here onto Blazers. He's not been able to do anything so far. The red carpet being laid down, as is the haymaker and the bullet time, but Slater has a Pantheon on him and a Akali. Absolutely no chance to survive. Levi looking for Yijin in the backlines here. We'll be able to find him. This is a very, very messy fight here. Yoshino with everything to do. I don't know. I love Set, but I don't think you can 1v3, my friend. Does get a lot of true damage out. Can he find anything at all? And no, it is an ace. Flash all dead, Flash losing Baron, and GAM does it again. They play the trump card that they shouldn't have had.
Yeah. And this time we finally see the 2 assassins on GAM's and being able to shut down Slater. Immediately the damage for Flash is gone. Even though the engagement Blazes looked very good, and Blazes, I think, died as well in the fight, right? He respawned. He respawned.
He did, yeah.
So 5 for 2. Yeah, good first few seconds of the fight. But then Flash didn't actually establish good battle lines. So the ADC was exposed. No Flash. He used the clans in the fight, but that's not enough. 2 assassins on top of Slater, and he went down. Now GAM with a little bit more control. It's still not quite enough to be confident in the game victory, but that's a good first sign for the fights to come.
Yep, so here is the replay. Yijin getting a little bit caught here. Good. This is really well done by CBL, but it's just not enough. That was
also the
scout of the week was fantastic.
Yeah, also absolutely disgusting combination of Set and Rumble. Yeah, they just didn't get the damage on all the members. They thought it would be enough to kill the Syndra, but then two very mobile assassins with a lot of damage, especially in Kiaya's. Kiaya has a lot of the consistent damage as well. So
hate to say it, but that fight goes differently if Yoshino has Conqueror. I think the lane would have gone very differently if had as well. So I actually do think Grass was the right. But it's a little bit unfortunate. Yoshino playing out of his mind on the set so far. He is looking so
CBL
good.
as well, though.
Yeah, CBL's having a cracker.
Incredible.
Yep. So far, we just need Yijin to sort of pop off a bit.
I think it's a little late for that. It's Rek'Sai.
Well, he needs to do something.
23 minutes.
He needs to do something.
Yeah. Maybe you should just try to peel for Slade, actually. You've won a very easy to look up. Maybe CBL and Slade, CBL and Yijin, maybe even Yoshino should just resort to peel for Slader, set him up so you can get a good bullet time in.
Absolutely. CBL does get the Solar Flare used on him. This is the Infernal Drake being contested. Levi going in here. Yijin taking so much damage, but he goes into chomp mode. Levi goes into the Guardian Angel. CBL getting engaged on. Yoshino is here, though. He has the suplex. He will use it, but I don't know how much it's going to do. Big shield. Oh, no, it's all going a little bit wrong here. Kiaya soloing him out. The tower's gotten involved. And no, in the end, Set does go down. That's a lot of damage for Flash removed, and the rest of the fight hasn't gone very well. CBL in the middle of the enemy team. He goes down. It's a 4-for-1. And GAM is here, boys.
Yeah, Akali's finally online, and Akali can 1-1 this. Not a good sign for Flash, because Set has basically won them all the prior fights. So now Akali just occupied the set and even won the 1v1 there. Slater tried to do everything he could, but he lacked a little bit of the consistent damage. This is the bursts, or the typical MF build where you focus on ult and big Q and also auto attack damage, but not on consistent damage, right? It's no attack speed, not even in the boots, so not a single attack speed item for the MF. Was not able to really deal with Palette even. Palette just stood there and took all the punishment from Slater, but didn't die.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The one thing to consider is obviously GAM looking pretty hot right now, but there is still worlds where the Wombo combo goes off. Set ult, into Rumble ult, into bullet time. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, also looks like Kade is lacking a little bit of damage. Like, we saw good, as you like to call it, red carpets in the fights before, but sadly they actually don't do a lot of damage. Like, we see all the members of GAM standing on top of the equalizer and no one actually loses HP, so Kati needs more damage.
Yeah, absolutely. We do need to see Kati doing a little bit more. Has the Zhonya's now for safety.
And another turret going down for GAM. GAM now firmly in control. 6k gold lead, one dragon away from the soul. And with the 6k gold lead, the dragon soul will be enough to win the game. Also gives them a very easy Baron. We talked about their composition having struggling a little bit to take Baron, but we've seen before 3 people are actually enough to take the Baron. So another fight, maybe with the Infernal Soul into Baron, should be enough to close out this game for GAM and recover from probably their worst early game so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Flash at least taking them close in the early game, but it's just cracked open around the skill in the team fights. Unfortunate, certainly, for Flash. They could potentially hold on, but with the Infernal Soul 3 minutes away, do they have time to scale into a position to win these fights? Hard to see it happening.
3 minutes shouldn't be enough. We need more items from Slater, and he's too far away from more items right now. Also, too defensive, and itemization, in my opinion, needs the extra damage. Right now, Flash just needs damage. They need so much more damage to overcome the 2 assassins on the side of GAM.
Yep, CBL once again trying to spider Nord away, but here is Pantheon. Can he get close enough? Zoning bullet time being used, but Yijin just gets caught and destroyed. Once again, it's a 4v5 on the map.
Yijin with a very unfortunate first game here. CBL once again gets away. 2 Qs to save him there. But his jungler just ints, so his escape doesn't actually do a whole lot. Good wave clear ult here from
Yep.
Cardi should
Potentially
be enough
saving
to
the
save
tower.
at least the inhibitor turret.
It'll
Even
save
this
the
turret.
inner for now until the next wave.
So now they can't fight, right? They don't have their jungler. Okay, Eugen doesn't actually do anything. They don't have Cardi's ult either. Right now, not the greatest of times for Flash. Good for them. It's at least 1.5 minutes before the dragon spawns, so it's not immediately so lost with this play. They need to kind of calm down and try to contest the dragon. The last-ditch effort.
Yeah, this inner tower is going to be fought for here. Dia1 taking a fair bit of damage, but Kiaya's come in the back line. The man slam has been used. He will go down, though, to the Haymaker. So far, it's a 1-for-0. Levi is bleeding out as well. Hook lands. He dies for it instantly, though. Cardi goes gold, and Paulette taking so much damage. This is a fight. Flash is winning. The health bars are not very high. The bullet time used. Yijin is going to try and look for something. The Prey Seeker will work. Slater, you've got to be careful here. This is still a Pantheon getting up, but I don't think he has the ability to turn it. Yijin, be very, very careful. But there it should be, and Kati comes in and burns him to death.
Wow, the turnaround again. So this game might just turn on its head again, especially if Flash is able to Baron, which they should be. Baron into reset, into potentially even the contest on the Infernal Drake, especially with the death timers working out as they are. Dia is still dead for a lot of time. Also with Baron recall, the reset for Flash is way easier to do. So Flash should be able to contest the dragon as well, and then with the Baron, potentially win another fight. Another hero play for Flash, for Yoshino as well. We have to see this one again.
Going to be an interesting one. Very important fight win. Flash showing some signs of life here. They haven't given up, and their team fight comp is still really, really good.
Yeah, and only 3k gold down at 30 minutes with this comp. They're actually ahead in combat effectiveness.
Yep, absolutely.
Still have to deal with two very strong assassins on the other side. But we've seen in the last fight, Dia1 alone can't actually do a whole lot. So now, ooh, this is dangerous.
Infernal is started. Paulette coming forward. Levi has gotten into the backline. Slater's already gone gold, and he goes down immediately. That's not good at all.
No.
The equalizer wasn't up yet. They needed not to fight until that was up. Yoshino doing his best. He's swinging his fists, but he's one of only 2 Flash players left alive. He'll use another Haymaker, but it's not going to be enough.
And even though Levi had a very quiet game so far, the hero flank for Levi to potentially win this game should be enough time to lock down this victory. So Levi with a game-winning play with the kick on Slater. Slater wasn't able to. He didn't have the QSS, so he couldn't cleanse Flash. You can't cleanse Flash with the kick. You can only QSS Flash. So unfortunate for him there.
I think the big mistake was fighting with that equalizer. Equalizer would have done so much.
I mean, they didn't want to fight there.
They started the dragon.
Yeah. Slater with mispositioning, and Levi with a very smart path as well. He didn't actually go straight to the dragon. He looked for the game-winning teamfight victory. And this is something GAM has shown. When they are behind, they are able to find opportunities no other VCS team can. But what a cracker of a game this first one was.
Yeah, absolute banger of a game, as we will head back over to our specialized little analyst desk, I should say. Welcome back, Vinny, if you're there. I hope your headset's turned on. And it is.
Yep.
So, what do we think about Game 1? Flash showed signs of life.
Flash showed a lot of signs of life, but overall, just the way GAM set up their fights, they came in at different angles and managed to catch. And a lot of the fights they were winning, they were able to catch Slater without his peel. Yep. The fight Flash was able to win at the end was when Eugen and Yoshino were just sitting on top of the MF, keeping her safe.
I think that
we basically saw all these scrappy fights go in GAM's because they had all the different angles, all the assassins fighting on their own. And the few fights that were actually standard front to back kind of team fights all went to Flash. So Flash, in the end, not able to fight around their best setups. And GAM once again able to find the weird approaches to the flanks, all the little things to turn it in their favor, even though the team composition was not quite strong enough anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if they could
Yeah.
potentially get better vision control and stop that same thing happening in Game 2, this isn't one of those situations where in the previous GAM series we've watched Game 1 and said, don't even bother playing Game 2. Give them the 2-0. This Flash could have won that game.
Flash could have won that game, but I'm gonna put on my LS pants for a moment about the builds.
Okay, I'm in. Let's go.
Yoshino didn't build any CDR
Yeah, Yoshino's build was
on
questionable.
set. Titanic into Sterax
And then Stoneplate
was very interesting. And you mentioned the Rumble didn't seem to have enough damage. That's because he went Predator.
Yeah.
I don't think it was used.
Yeah,
I don't think the Predator mattered once.
Yeah, I think they maybe overlooked the enemy mid lane pick because you like to go Predator, right? For roams, but you can't actually roam into a Pantheon. So you should have changed this rune choice.
Most tend to go Comet.
Yeah, just for
Comet's
laning.
The most
yeah, he should have gone for that.
And he probably should have gone for that. I'm gonna believe that he was going for a cheeky Dark Harvest build and accidentally clicked the wrong rune, because that makes me feel a lot better than Predator.
A little bit harsh.
And yeah, if Yijin, and mostly just Yijin needs to clean up his early game.
Yijin had a very
off game.
Fortunate.
Yeah, he had a very bad game. The Rek'Sai was just completely denied by the Syndra.
Whom do we want to give the MVP to?
I think Levi. Levi did a lot.
Overall, I think Blazes. I think Blazes on Syndra had a really good performance.
He hit some ridiculous stuff.
He also had some big misplays though in the bot lane.
He had some.
I think in my mind it's between Dia and Levi. Levi started so many fights on the flank.
Give him that because he won the game.
Yeah, he won the game.
That helps. But I mean, I'll deign to the two big brains. Like I'm just the play-by-play caster.
He has secured all the kills, but he actually didn't do a whole lot with his lead. I think it's not a Dia MVP this time. I would lean towards Levi as well. I didn't really see Blazes do that many interesting things.
I saw a lot of good
play
from Blazes.
Too focused on him as well.
Wasn't flashy, but he did a lot of damage from the backline. Again, yeah.
But he also got caught at the Baron fight. I'm not too happy with Blaze's MVP, I have to say.
I mean, if we're talking about the most valuable player, Yoshino. But I don't think the performance.
Yeah, can we give it to Yoshino?
It wasn't a good enough performance. I think we did one losing team MVP last split, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but this was not quite there. No,
yeah.
I think just because he won the game, it's Levi. Because also, if you look at the state of the game, there only 3k gold ahead. They actually looked like the losing team in that situation. They needed the soul and looked for weird team fights to win this game. And Levi found the perfect spot to initiate the game against the comp that was outscaling them. So, yeah.
Yep, I completely agree. So, we're going to lock in Levi for the first MVP. We'll be back in about 4.5-ish minutes to see who can take Game 2 of this match of the week. Hopefully we go to Game 3, because I just want to see more of these teams smashing into each other.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
I hope it's a 2-0 for GAM for my currently near perfect predictions.
Don't jinx that. How dare you? But we will be back very soon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. It's always great to have you. Welcome back, everybody, for Game 2 here of GAM versus Flash. We had a very interesting first game, to say the least. Flash playing it closer than anyone has played GAM so far.
Yeah.
So, what do we
Exciting
think?
times.
What do we think we can do here in game 2?
Shore up your builds and your vision, and hope for the best.
Hope for a better game for Yijin. He had an off game. I think if Yijin was on top of his game, Flash could have won this one, but he was very useless. Also died for absolutely no reason in mid lane, which cost them a bit in the fight. Actually, they won the fight afterwards, but yeah, I mean, Yijin was absolutely no impact player in this game.
Yeah, he did absolutely.
Maybe go back to J4. He had a good J4, right? Olaf as well. Maybe Rek'Sai wasn't the greatest pick here. I know a lot of players like to play Rek'Sai into Lee Sin, but
it's Levi's
the counter isn't strong enough.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's a soft counter, but it's not the guaranteed counter, and not warned to just go with Rek'Sai, in my opinion.
Yeah, I must say I don't want to see an Olaf. I don't think that's what we want. I want more CC out of Yijin. I want them to play around. I want them to play around Slater and Kati. Personally,
I wouldn't mind an Olaf if there's another Syndra pick.
Yeah, maybe.
But
we have to say though, Flash draft was great, right? Compared to the previous drafts, Flash draft was actually super good.
So much better.
Syndra flags, Set in the top lane, MF in the bot lane. Actual 2020 champs.
I know, right?
Yeah.
They have been in the tank this past week, actually getting a lot done. Good to see. If they'd been drafting like they were last week, there was just no hope for them.
No. I would like to see, this time around, if Flash might go for a more peel-based support for person whose name I've just forgotten.
CBL.
No problem.
CBL, that's it.
Not peel for Slater, but for okay.
Well, 2 peel for Slater, but so give me a Braum, give me a Tom Kench.
Oh no.
I mean,
I know.
I mean, let's be real. He's gonna want Blitzcrank. I think it's gonna get banned, but it's what he wants.
Because I think the biggest issue was when Slater died, the team fight was lost.
Yeah.
And just giving, and everyone on Flash was trying to go in, which left poor little MF all alone, shooting her load and getting.
I think their team fight calls were bad. I don't actually think their composition was the problem here. And they could have played more defensively with Rek'Sai, Set, and Nautilus. But think back to the Baron fight where they all went on blazes and left poor little MF alone in the backline against 2 assassins. Slater was very hopeless there.
At that point, Rek'Sai should not be looking to engage. Rek'Sai should just be sitting on top of the MF, looking to knock up anyone that tries to go on her.
I think this could also be a little bit of a symptom for Flash that they're not used to playing with ADCs that need to be protected, right? Usually, Slater goes Xayah, and it's way harder to kill a Xayah in the backline than an MF. So maybe not used to the MF yet. Even though Slater had a great MF game, by the way. Slater hit all the good bullet times, knew when to channel this ability.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I hope they ban Akali this game, or potentially GAM will ban it because they should be on red. Don't give GAM Akali again. Yeah, despite a rough lane phase, looked really good on it. I'd love to see Yoshino back on set. We are heading into Champion Select right now.
We are.
Have to flick to a pause screen just to do production.
Also, like Crank and Tristana also off the board again.
I don't like the Tristana ban. I think the Tristana was played in a game that GAM trolled a little bit. Don't think it justifies.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. BI is so good on so many.
Okay.
Sad everyday noises as Set hits the bench.
So it seems like Flash is really valuing the set very highly. They first picked it in the first game and now banning it on red side. So to prevent the set first pick on GAM's blue side game. Interesting.
Kiaya has had very good set games.
That is true.
I think banning set when you're on red side is fine. It's first picked a lot. I think that makes sense.
And I mean, I've seen it flexed around.
I like this adaptation again from Flash. They left open the Aphelios, which is not great, but they at least banned away the Syndra to prevent the flex. So they're calling out the Syndra flex this time. Set is banned as well, so Aphelios very easy first pick.
Yep, we could still. I'd like to see a Braum pick here to not have your MF locked out. I don't think Slater can play. I mean, maybe he can, but he hasn't shown the center.
What is going on?
Okay, Cassiopeia and Kiana. She was banned last game, but Yijin picking up another early game jungler after a very weak.
But with CC in the late game.
So there is still the possibility for flex. Cassio can go top. It can go bot.
Kiana common though.
I don't think it will
then go mid.
Don't tease this GAM. I can only get this so excited.
Please don't get excited over Yuumi.
He just loves cats.
I love Yuumi.
Why?
She's great. She's great to watch.
Plane flies past my house.
So this time the mid lane is actually traded champs. So comfort champ for Dia is the Cassio, although you can play basically everything. And the comfort champ for Kati, definitely the Rice. This time traded around. Usually Cassiopeia a very good matchup into Rice, but Rice can kind of handshake the lane, go even in CS. Loses up a Prio though.
Okay, so they were hovering the Talia there. I know I didn't get picked, but I have seen that Talia bot is being played in solo queue.
It is.
I
think it was just a troll hover. I'm going to be totally honest. I think he was just
could be a possibility.
Perhaps. The bands
and
second round.
Basically, it got me excited, so I wanted to talk about it and mention it. But Braum, as I said, get Peel for Slater. GAM should be trying to pinch ADCs right now.
I have to say, I still like the Leona ban though, because Palette has been incredible on his Leona timings. We saw his solar flares in the first game, always hitting the mark. So even though it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to ban supports right now, I still think the Leona ban, especially targeted at Palette, is not that bad.
And the Akali is also off.
Good.
As his Lucian.
Okay, they watched too much Genji, apparently.
Woo, baby!
Okay, Callista picked up for Slater, Senna was open, MF was open, but they've gone for the Spear of Vengeance. And the Yumi's locked!
Oh
no! Oh no, they've got the double!
Oh yeah!
No! Alright, I'm not casting this game. Yulwei, you're solo casting.
Alright, I'm P-Bit. I'm play-by-play apparently.
Oh no! Yulwei,
no,
run us through what this
That's
does.
a tragedy. That's a tragedy.
Aphelios.
So this is the team composition, or the main parts of the team composition Hanwha Live used to. Oh no! What the?
Oh no!
Okay. So Hanwha Live won with this kind of team composition against SKT, or T1 as they know now. And Hanwha Live is not supposed to be T1. If you look at the players, they played Soraka top lane, Yuumi bot lane with Olaf in the jungle, and Olaf went 11-1, killed everyone, was unable to die even through grievous wounds. I'm not the biggest fan of having Lee Sin in this team composition. I think that you kind of need a very fast, very high damage jungler for the Yuumi to work, but it's still Soraka. So Soraka was.
I think Rise is going to be the big unkillable beast right now.
Picking Cannon into Soraka is pure int. The lane is super easy for Soraka.
This Cannon pick was atrocious.
Yeah.
I've played this matchup before, and Cannon can't do anything. He really
I genuinely would have preferred to see Jace then.
Maybe.
Honestly, why not? Yeah.
At least Jace can rush the execution
So we might see the highest rend damage of all times, because Slater will stack will stack his spears, and then Soraka heals the target up again and again and again. So maybe Slater can get to like 3k rend damage this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically going to be able to stick spears in whoever he wants until someone gets on top of him, because once they're on top of him, they're never ever going away. It is
on
Levi.
the plus side. Flash has a very fast Baron take.
Nice. There we go.
In all seriousness, there is one hole in GAM's comp. They don't have a tank. We could have a situation where Kiana slams people against the wall. Once Rise is dead, I don't think Aphelios is really the one you want to tunnel heal. It'll be hard to kill, especially if he has the
Dia1 might actually go for the tank build here, or semi-tank build. Let's see. I think this is a Dia1 carry us composition, which, why not? Dia1's looking like the best player in the league, so you can definitely build comps around him. But oh no, Kiaya has made the first big mistake. He's went with teleport. Never go teleport Soraka. Teleport Soraka is horrible. In this matchup, I think it's a little bit more understandable. Cannon really can't do anything against Soraka. I actually think Yoshini could have gone for Ignite here, honestly.
Maybe.
Try to get solo kills in the matchup. Teleport, I mean, yeah.
Just to cut you off for just a moment, I know you've got about 10 minutes of Soraka monologue going. We do just say thank you and goodbye to Vinny as we are hitting the rift. Please chat. Show him your support and your appreciation. We really appreciate him coming on. He'll have a chat with us after the game, though, don't worry. But do continue now. I know you've got more to say about this Soraka Yuumi. Just sin. It's sinful.
It's great. It's how you win games. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a Soraka expert. I've played multiple games on Soraka the last few days, and this is one of the matchups I've played. I found it one of the easiest matchups. I think Cannon is really not able to do anything against Soraka. As we see a little bit of an early trade, nicely done from GAM. They get a good advantage for the bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. They're taking a lot
Levi
of
is
damage.
super late to start this buff on the other side.
Yeah, he's only starting a buff at 154. So his ganks will definitely be delayed. Hopefully he makes
the call. They still have vision on Yijin though.
So he should be able to make the call to steal away the chickens as well. So in the end, it should be pretty even. And
so the hardest thing about Soraka top lane is actually not playing against any champ, but last hitting. It's so difficult. Yeah, all the matchups I think the only matchup I've struggled with so far is there are two. I've struggled against Irelia later on in the game. Actually, early game is pretty easy into Irelia, but later on in the game she can just dash too often, so it's hard to get away from her. And then Yorick absolutely destroyed me in lane. Yorick is big. Maybe Soraka is.
Yorick beats anyone that can't get out of the cage.
Yeah, and he murdered me. We still won the game because he was unable to play side lanes, and we just team fight. But yeah, Yorick is potentially a counter pick. We might get to see if Soraka stays high priority for long.
If Yorick comes into the meta, I think it would be the greatest time in top lane ever for me. I love Set. I love Mordekaiser, and Yorick is my highest mastery champion by about 200,000 points.
And wouldn't you like to see the Set being countered by Soraka every game? Yeah, that's great.
Why? We're meant to be friends, you know? We have a friendly dynamic here, and I don't know why you're ruining it.
Soraka into Set is something everyone should experience once. It's so funny.
Only on the Soraka side. Playing Set into Soraka is cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, and here is in the top, in the bot lane.
It is Soraka's TP.
It's going to be Soraka coming in as well, potentially getting some healing out. But Yoshino's going to do so much more in this fight. Kiai's already ignited up. Oh no, it's all gone a little bit wrong for GAM. Cutty, that was the worst teleport I've ever seen. What are you doing here?
Oh god, that's just Soraka TP. Yeah, never go Soraka TP. That's why Soraka TP doesn't do anything. A little bit unfortunate for Kiaya. Will not actually do a whole lot in lane. We see the infamous call by, also kill for Yoshino. So Yoshino is strong. Yoshino will be strong in teamfights as well. So his game plan right now is to flash on top of everyone and have the big slicing maelstrom stun everyone, followed up by Yijin. A lot of AoE damage on the side of Flash, which is quite good into Soraka in my opinion. Obviously, Soraka has the AoE heal, but the biggest thing about Soraka and the biggest healing from Soraka is the W. The W is absolutely overpowered, especially in the late game. You can get up to something like 800 heal with one W, and W has a 1 second cooldown. So yeah, not a whole lot to see here. But
this was just bad teleport.
Just very ill-advised.
Why would you TP on
flashed
Raka?
Away.
Just atrocious.
It was Cardi's TP, a highlight player. My God.
Hey guys, I'm here! Can I get an assist or something? Oh my word. That's not good at all. One thing I think
Hiaya has definitely practiced on this champ. He's looking great in terms of CSing.
Yeah, it is hard to CS on Soraka. That's actually not a joke. Those auto attacks are horrific.
Yeah, they are.
We could have a little bit of a trouble. We have a bit of a 3v3 here, but we should see the GAM bot lane disengaging. Never mind, the Gravitum is coming out, as is the Prowling Projectile. Yijin goes in very hard, and Gem jumps back. A lot of damage going on to Levi, and he has to flash away to stop the red, but Yijin goes flying forward, and we'll pick that one up with the wall element. They're going forward here. Slater should have rend any moment. Down he goes. Will the cat die? No, she'll slink away. Wow, those spears look really brutal when they're in Yumi.
Yeah. They're bigger than Yumi. Twice as big as Yumi. Yeah, there we go. Another good play for Flash. Good early game strategy start for Flash. And they need to get ahead. This team composition for GAM in the late game is quite ridiculous. It's very hard to deal with. So, yep, good to see Flash making proactive plays here. Good play for Yijin as well. Better than all his plays in the first game, we have to say. The first game was a little bit of a letdown for Yijin.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad to see him. Kiana's a good champion to get early kills on as well. One thing I was going to say before we had another crack of action, as we are actually, I'll say it after the replay.
Also, look at Aphelios. Aphelios is very low on mana here.
I don't think does he use the Q?
No, I don't think he can.
He doesn't have the mana.
That's
should actually be using the other gun. Should be using the other gun there. That was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
He has Inferno.
Yeah, that too, yeah. There is the Q stun. So he actually had to wait a long time to use his Q because his mana was not high enough. That could have swung the fight here. Yep. I think they would have won the fight with a Q, potentially. Also, if you've changed his guns, as you rightfully pointed out.
Yeah, I think his logic was that he was super low on ammo for the Gravitum, and I think he wanted to press Q, which would have switched him over to the Chakrams. Love to talk about it a little bit more, as Blazers is caught up. There's the Wish coming in, but I don't think it's going to save Blazers. CBL just about getting out there. Yijin is in stealth. The spears are being used, but here comes Dia. Wish you could answer it with a Rise teleport, don't you, mate? But no, Levi now getting away. Yijin will pick that one up. Looking sick on this Kiana so far. And Cardi's in the bot lane again, guys. Woo! He's here.
Levi is actually playing very bad this game.
Yeah, he's not playing well at all.
Bad, always on top of the enemy team, even though he left, always dying in the fights in the bot lane. And Yijin, recovering from his earlier game, very good showing so far.
Absolutely. Ooh, we could have a little bit of trouble here. There are some very low health bars. The Dragons will be secured. But yeah, Cassio doing a lot. That's a big petrifying gaze as well. Dia1, as you very correctly point out, has no mana. Can Yijin get over the wall? He can't. That's a kill for Yumi as the ult is coming out. And oh no, Flash, you were looking so good. You didn't need that. You did not need that dragon. You were so low.
That's a great turnaround for GAM. Kills to all the important members, especially the Yumi. And yeah, but GAM back in the game, ahead in gold. Looks good for them. They can probably win this game with a 5k gold deficit in the late game, easily. Maybe even 10k. And being ahead in this game, it's great.
Yep, absolutely. It is a smaller gold lead than GAM normally has, but it's also only 9 minutes. See if Flash can continue to fight back. It was just the one misstep. Perhaps they can figure something out. Potentially bait Kiaya into some bad teleports. Yeah, there's not much to
We
say
get to
here.
see the
It's
fight
just mid
again.
laners with no mana.
Yeah, it's very fun. Look at all the auto attacks between the mid laners. There we go. And Palat is actually the most impactful player for GAM here.
By far. The good Yumi ult stopped.
Yeah, also 6. Flash didn't see the level 6 for Yumi because it wasn't there. He got 6 after securing the kill, so another good turnaround. Actually, something I wanted to say about the Soraka top lane as well. I her best with junglers that can actually carry as well. So we saw the Olaf as well. I've played together with something like AP Shyvana. So most of the time, you get pushed in as Soraka if you don't hard push in the early game. And the enemy, you can set up ganks pretty easily. You have a silence, you have a slow, you can heal your jungler. So your jungler goes berserk mode, just straight up into the enemy laner. You heal him up, and then he gets the kill. You don't want the kill on Soraka. You don't need the kill as well. So you can actually snowball your jungler very easily. As my stream is struggling a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on your end.
Mine's totally fine. So the stream on our end is looking good. Yeah, we got a little inside tip that they've changed up how they're doing the stream. Get a little bit more stability because it's looking great tonight, for sure. As we do have, the Cassiopeia ult was so early, but he gets away on a sliver of health. Cutty, absolutely pure luck to survive there. Something I've been trying to comment on, but we've had so much action that I have not had a chance, is...
It's so much Soraka.
Yep. So the Kennen matchup, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to get it done anyway. The Glacial Fisher does come out. Palet is doing everything he can. One more would lock them up, but there's a huge Kiana roll, absolutely massive, into the Slicing Maelstrom, doing so much. Levi's got a lot of spears in him. If the Rend is up, and there it is, does get the kill. No one has died for Flash. They're getting them in the Rave Cave. They're not getting out of this alcove. Slater going a little bit aggressive there, but doing well. Cardi will pick up the kill onto Blazers now. Kia's got to run away. A lot of spears in him, but they won't be yanked out. And it's I believe that was a 4 or 3 for 0 in the end.
Yeah.
In favor of Flash. They're back, boys. They're back in the game.
There we go. Ping pong again today.
Yep.
A little bit messy this game so far. I really don't like GAM's decision. Kia seems to be practiced on the Soraka, but it seems like GAM is not practiced on the Soraka as a team. Like, all their calls about when to TP and when to take fights are very bad with the Soraka. Just don't play more defensively. Let the enemy come to you. Turn the fights around with a crucial ult. It's a bit sad to see, but they're only 1k gold behind, so it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm gonna try and make this point, and as I begin to say it, I'm sure a fight will kick off. Is Kennen not good at applying grievous wounds? Like, he hits everyone with the Slicing Maelstrom, right? If he just builds a Morello's.
Yeah.
Is that not a good thing?
It's a good point. Like, it's
not a good lane matchup, but maybe it's a good comp matchup?
But you have to say, Kennen doesn't want to build that item, though, right?
No,
you want to go to maybe Rabadons. If you go damage, you definitely want to go Zhonya's, Void stuff. So it's very hard to fit it into the build, actually. So, as I possibly have to reset my whole setup right now. So
all right, I'll do a little bit of a radio cast. Well, don't even need to do a radio cast. Just don't have my analyst, but that's okay. Yijin is lurking up here in the top side, and that's someone I want to comment on. Yijin already looking so much better. His mental did not break after game 1, and so I'll summon up the Rift Herald here. Oh my god! VN players giving solo gold to an AD carry?
No.
Oh my god, they've pushed away. Slater's got solo gold from the Herald. I'm so proud of you.
Unbelievable.
Flash. And he did not only get the Shelly charge, he got the entire first turret. Flash is now 2k gold ahead. Dragon picked up for GAM is definitely not worth it in the trade. Is Flash going to be the Kingslayers? It's early to call it. It's early.
It's very early to call that.
But no one has been ahead.
Mistake from Blazes.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. Getting absolutely caught out here. Very nice. Callista alters. Aphelios will be killed. They don't need that many spears to pick up this cat either. And there it is, a double kill for Slater. Hippity hopping everywhere on this Callista. Looking incredible.
Yeah, that was just bad positioning from Blazes. Shouldn't have been this aggressive, this strong of a Callista. Wish even came in, but there's early Grievous Wands built for Slater, so he actually prioritized the Grievous Wands over finishing his first item and paid dividends there.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking very good so far is Slater, and if anyone's going to carry, I think it's going to be this Callista. I'm liking it. Callista Braum. I mean, that's kind of a classic Callista, right? Yeah. Throwing Braum into the midst. And Rakan, calm down. I know it's a good game, but you don't need to yell.
So, yeah, looking at the whole game right now, definitely a big advantage for Flash. It will be hard for them to finish this game, though. Their engage options are basically Slater throwing CL, and then Yijin and Yoshino following up with flashes. As we may see Kiaya
We could see
die.
a bit of a fight here. Kiaya is caught up. There's absolutely no way he gets out of this. And Yijin getting another kill. I actually like the Kiana getting it over the Kennen. Kiana uses the gold at the moment a little bit better, and I'd love to see him scaling into the mid to early late game. Another bit of damage being used onto Blazers. Does have that Severum Chakram combo. He will be just fine.
Now, this should be an easy turret for Flash.
Should be.
Okay.
GAM looks like they're going to try and contest it. Yep, Moonlight Vigil, and it was the Severum version.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Didn't get very much health back, and you also have a Yuumi on you, so maybe let that do the healing. Flash also as well, Severum picking up another tower. My word. This is looking a little bit hot.
Oh, another engage.
Oh, we've got another engage. That we do. Oh, wow. The final chapter was interrupted, and Yijin comes in, the supreme display of talent. And
Flash
another
is
tower.
Gum.
This is looking fantastic.
Yeah, and Flash usually plays worse in the first game. Maybe.
Yeah, it's true. We keep forgetting.
Great, but
we keep forgetting about Flash Game 1 debuff.
The first game already was pretty good for Flash, so there are only better things to come. And my Flash #1 prediction looks better now. My serious prediction looks very bad now, though.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, I picked GAM 2-0, and the heal coming in. Yijin in a lot of trouble, but CBL is here to turn this one around. The concussive blows will go off. Yijin has wall and will kill Levi despite the wish.
Yep. Imagine that was an Olaf. That's why Olaf is great with this combination, because Olaf deals more damage than Lee Sin. Olaf can just straight up go in Berserk mode and not care for his own HP bar with the Soraka Wish coming in. That was a 740 heal, by the way, with one item completed on the Soraka.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty nutty. If that can continue into the later game, could keep Levi and Aphelios alive for a very, very long time.
So the reason Flash this heal was this big is the unholy healing for Themes of Grail. Not sure what unholy healing is supposed to be, but it's called that.
Well, it's because you're siphoning, because it charges by doing damage. You're siphoning other people's life force. That's pretty unholy.
On theme, yeah, I guess. So you get to stack up the unholy grail in the lane, of course, and you in lane have no way of proccing that, so you'll always be at 250 basically. As we see Blazes potentially getting caught again.
Slater hopping forward. There's the Yuumi ult, but CBL has been thrown forward. CBL. Flashing forward, doing really, really well. Blazes already taking so much damage. Yijin will clean that one up. Did about half his health with a Q, and Yoshino's here. There's no running, Paulette. Down he goes. Flash get another 2, and they're 10 kills and 6,000 gold ahead of GAM. That's Kingslayer. The sword is up. They're about to swing it at the Monarch. Can they bring it down?
And they're abusing the bot lane of GAM. GAM's bot lane is getting caught.
Oh, Slater! She's going flying forward there, a little bit over aggressive, taking so much damage and have to heal.
And maybe Dia 1 can be even more of than he was before. Because if GAM is able to get back into this game, it's probably through DR1s carrying. There we go. He has to be
Incredibly
careful.
interesting. They're getting caught a little bit there. Oh, they went
there's
forward
a
into the
chance.
Soraka silence. Not a good idea at all, but that's a pretty good
Oh, there
Cassiopeia
we
ult.
go.
And there's the massive Soraka ult. Completely resets the fight. This is why she is so strong. Oh, Slater, you're not in a good hot place here. The slow will slow her attack speed, and it's another shutdown. Flash, come on!
Nicely done, nicely done. And DR1, as we said before, is the one that doesn't... Oh, another 900...
Oh...
is the one that doesn't have to care about his health bar. He dropped down to like 400 HP, and then 700 heal from Kiaya came in. DR1 can just frontline on this Rise. That's also because, why I think he'll probably go for at least one more defensive item to have a little bit of resistances. He's already on a lot of effective HP with the shield and the now stacking Rod of Ages. So there's a lot of potential for Rise frontlining in this game, and once Rise hits 16, he'll just murder all of Flash.
Absolutely.
So look at him again here.
Slater starts this fight so low.
Yeah, Slater super low. Also the silence preventing Cardi from doing anything. Great. Oh, wow, look at this heal. Instantly back to full HP.
Just ridiculous.
The Rise ult actually not too great there from GAM. But they still get all the kills. SDR1. Yeah, look at this. Eugen is fat, by the way. You won't guess he's fat with how fast he dies here.
Rise. Rise is definitely a champion. Maybe he needs another rework. But Flash throwing away 2,000 of their 5,000 gold lead, and we're seeing, ooh, hello, Kiaya gets caught out there by the new rock. Oh, he lives on nothing.
Yep, he does. And another case of go, please go barrier if you go to top lane Soraka. Please tell me one time in this game where the top lane Soraka with teleport was useful.
Nope. In fact, it was helpful for Flash.
Yeah, it was. Please just never go top lane teleport Soraka. It's worthless. Especially because you can't actually itemize HP easily on Soraka. You just want to go heal item. So you can't go defensively on Soraka. So the barrier is super valuable, especially for top lane Soraka compared to support Soraka, because a barrier scales on levels. And the only thing you have over bot lane Soraka is levels, which, yeah, gives you the opportunity to go for a very strong barrier.
But it is, I tried for so long to make a point in the early game. Yoshino does have a Morello's. I actually think this build deviation makes a lot of sense. If you can get in there with the Slicing Maelstrom, it cuts the wish down. It's still going to be huge. We do actually have a fight up here in the river. Levi getting caught again. This is so unlike him. DR1 could be in a lot of trouble as well, as the Callista ult has been used. He goes up in the air. I don't think there's any chance for him. And they're just going to get Baron.
Yep. Easy Baron. I'm not sure what Levi and DR1 were doing there. The two main carries for GAM so far, messing up in the mid game. And another swing in this game as GAM just stabilized the gold deficit a little bit. Now Flash back on top and back to about 6k, 5k gold lead and the Baron buff.
Yeah, absolutely. Flash continuing to try and push the gas down.
So I wanted to go back to your Yoshino point, because the cannon has two things he has to look out for that are very good into cannon. One, no, actually three things. So the as a whole, the champ of Yumi is just a very good counter into cannon. One, she has exhaust, and exhaust is already very good into cannon. Just exhaust him when he comes in. He doesn't deal any damage. He goes down. Then you have the ult, so you can't actually chase very easily into the Yumi. And then Kiaya has the silence as well. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So Levi, MVP of the split, last split. 1-6.
And there was Wish actually used from Kiaya. So
wow, that was through the Wish. Jesus. Eugen absolutely out here trucking.
Wish might have been late. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think he had much time to react, to be fair. Yeah. So Flash continuing to push this lead. They're on this mid lane in Hib Tower. Could potentially go down. There is two oh my god. This Kiana absolutely
There we go,
flexing
double
on the
flash.
haters. Yoshino going in, doing so much damage. Kiaya might die before he can do anything. There's no wish to reset this fight. Inhib is down. They just need to get out now. Run away, Flash. Do not get tempted to turn. I'll be so mad at you. Good boys.
Yeah,
Get
I
out
think
of there.
if Dia1 was level 16 there, they would have chased a little bit more aggressively. But he's still level 15, so small window for Flash to still win the fights against the pretty strong Rise, but he's not on his biggest power point yet. Also, Wish not available, as you rightfully pointed out. So at second, big Mountain Drake now for Flash. Obviously, the Mountain Drakes don't actually do anything for them. But
Soul could.
Soul
could be looking pretty nicely in a bit of a poke war if that does come to that. I don't think GAM would love it. Being able to heal people behind the shields. It's pretty. Oh, here comes the Glacial Fisher. A little bit aggressive. They're trying to catch out Kiaya, but in the end, it won't find anything.
What? Why?
It's a shortish cooldown.
But Yoshino has no ult. Why would you try to engage there without Yoshino ult?
Maybe they thought they could. I think they thought they could just blow Kiaya up and then back off. But this is an Aphelios with Infernum. You don't want to fight into that. Very, very dangerous.
So 6k gold lead for Flash. I think they are favored to win this game, but it's not 100% secured yet.
Absolutely.
There's still the potential, especially if Dia1 is finally able to hit level 16. Blazes also is only scaling up. Actually, an interesting rune choice as well. We're going with the Conqueror. So trying to go for extended fight makes a lot of sense with the 2 heal bots in his team.
Say that again. Definitely will be getting a lot of value out of that Conqueror. And it's
also,
interesting.
Kiai actually needs one more level as well. So the W cooldown, potentially the percentage-wise most extreme cooldown scaling skill in the game, because you start with something like 7 seconds on W cooldown. You go down to 1 second or something. So it's quite ridiculous, the difference between a level like 8 Soraka with W on level 1 and level 14 Soraka with maxed out W.
I mean, I think the only one that scales the cooldown harder with levels harder is Urgot. His W becomes 0 cooldown.
Yeah.
But
good point.
Obviously not particularly relevant to this game. Not going to see any Urgot randomly connected player. GAM pushing down the mid lane here. They have inside track here. Yijin does have a flank, but doesn't have a team. Could catch Yoshino, could catch Kiaya in the back lane. He uses the wish to try and save himself, but instantly dies. And now, GAM, where are you going? Blazers gets hit on the tower. Supreme display of talent. Yoshino coming in, has the slicing maelstrom, pops it, but gets rooted up. Doesn't get a huge amount of value, but here comes Yijin. Gets another stun. Oh, but he's going to go down to Levi there. Now Cardi needs to do it all. Has the shield. Levi goes down. Paulette is a sad, sad kitty. And Flash will pick up an ace. They're going to fly forward. They have a wave. We could see the game here. I don't think the respawn time is quite long enough. Blazers will be
Blazers and Kiaya will be there to defend the base.
They're going for it, though. They're TPing.
They should have enough time. They should have enough time to lock this one down. The 3 players pushing as well. Kiaya can't really do something on his own. Blazes, your time to shine. Come on,
He has Infernum. If he's ever going to do it, it's right now. And unfortunately, despite 200 years of game design, Aphelios cannot carry that last bit.
Flash, another 200 years.
Flash has taken a game from the kings of the VCS. And I'm already looking at the face cams of our analysts. Vinny, I'm about to switch to us, so stop that. Never mind, he did it anyway. Oops,
Soraka was such a bad Soraka. You can't actually.
Oh, I don't care. Like many champs, I'm always happy to see it lose.
Welcome back, Vinny. I think you're a little bit happy after that one. Look, I'm not happy because Soraka Yumi lost. Though I am happy that Soraka Yumi. That's not why I'm most happy, though. Flash just took a game off GAM. There's a chink in the armor. It's possible.
Yeah, not only that, also GAM players that we thought looked incredible the split so far didn't play too great. Levi, especially today, struggling a lot.
The chink turned out to be Levi inting.
Yeah, I mean, Levi had probably the worst game I've ever seen out of him. That was absolutely atrocious.
That was pretty bad. Oh,
He does
that
not
was rough.
normally play that poorly.
Also didn't like the champ he was put on. They tried to go Hanwha Live and forgot that Hanwha Live actually played and just didn't pick anything in the jungle that could replicate Olaf's success.
Yeah.
So I think the reason for that is they probably weren't planning on it from the start.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think
because they picked the least in, and then at the end there they were like, "Oh, hang on, both of these are open. We should grab them," and then they did.
Yeah, I don't really agree with the Yuumi pick. If you don't have the best Yuumi carrier, why would you go? Just go normal support and have Soraka top lane. You don't need Yuumi to play Soraka. No way. No way. Soraka is good on her own. So
I think it was a little bit of a meme comp.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's a little bit sad to see teams in minor regions, and GAM still is that, right? To try to meme comp a different league, and then miss the most crucial part of the meme comp, which was the Olaf. There's no way around that. So
yeah, absolutely. So, going into Game 3, we can assume GAM will return to a little bit of a more standard comp. Levi will possibly plug himself back in to the brain machine as well. Doesn't normally play like that.
All the brain power was going into Kiaya's lab.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we go on to next game, MVP, I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
Yijin
definitely.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
What were you going with?
No, I was gonna meme and say like palette or something. Oh, not palette.
I mean, Levi for Flash.
If anyone for GAM, it's probably Levi or Blazes, who had pretty off games. Blazes as well, getting caught over and over again on the affiliates. Yeah, Yijin had an incredible game on the Kiana.
Yeah. Yijin. Yeah, night and day performance.
Really was.
Yeah, I mean, from both junglers, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, they kind of swapped.
So, judging by that, GAM should win because blue side junglers just in.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm still not quite sure. We never got confirmation. The site selection actually is in VCS this year. Will we have dynamic site selection or just GAM going back to blue side? Flash going back to blue side?
If that's normally how it's worked. It's normally alternated.
Yeah. Also, even if it's dynamic, I think GAM would probably want to go back to red side. So it's very probable that we have GAM red side, Flash blue side again. Will we see the set ban for GAM this time? Because Flash banned it this time in the red side first rotation.
Yeah, possibly.
Looked very strong for Flash in the first game, right?
Though they could, if bait the set first pick and then pick the Soraka into it. Because that way they know
they should do.
They're not blind picking Soraka into Kennen, which turned out pretty good.
It looked pretty good, honestly. Yoshino had a pretty good game.
I don't know if the Kennen you went up against was just bad.
I mean,
it wasn't good.
He was absolutely fine in lane. Like Soraka was fine.
Yeah,
like Tiaya played the Soraka
laning
very
was
bad
fine.
Later on.
Yeah, Soraka Tiaya did not look practical.
He was alone in the side lane. He didn't have the barrier. He just made mistakes. I think his laning phase looked very good though.
Overall, though, I like the comp and the mass application of Grievous Wounds through the Cannon ult, through Runans that you'd naturally build on Callista, through the AoE damage that Kiana brings.
Kiana had a huge game.
And I don't actually know if Cassio built Morello's, but even more. I don't know, it was being built.
Yeah.
But it wasn't completed at the end.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So lots and lots of AoE Grievous Wounds, which is very
wouldn't have mattered if GAM didn't have much. Because Grievous Wounds 40%. It's not enough to stop the Soraka.
It helps.
Definitely slows it down.
It's good to see the awareness, that's true.
Yeah.
So, with some analysis of that game done, I think Yulwei wants to make one last point. Go ahead. Got one? Sorry, it looked like you were trying to make a point, and I was just
No.
throwing 12. So it's all good. We'll be back in around about 4 minutes for some analysis going into a little bit of an unexpected, perhaps, Game 3 to see if Flash can truly be the King Slayers. We will see you guys in just a few minutes. Hello everybody, we are back for Game 3 of Flash vs. GAM, one of the best series that we've had so far, I think. It's
Absolutely.
been two absolute slobber knocker of games. So, what do we think for Game 3? What needs to happen? We need to see GAM not int. But what can Flash do to potentially close this out?
Flash had 2 close games against GAM. The second one actually not super close. They closed it out pretty good. So just continue on with the good work. Good draft so far. I was very surprised with the Callista, but it worked out, right? So
yeah,
why not?
Do they do it again?
Do it again.
I mean, yeah, why not? I don't see. I mean, Slater looked so good on it. He looked fantastic on that Callista.
You could do it again, but I don't think. I don't think you should. But I mean, yeah, it depends on how the draft shakes out. If you get to that stage, you haven't got your AD carry yet. It's a really good late pick AD carry if you can see what it's going into. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also a good strategy for Flash to focus on bot lane, right? Because this is one of the points we were making before the season actually started. That bot lane for GAM against Flash could actually be the point that Flash can exploit. It was always the argument between which side can exploit the other harder. Mid lane for GAM against mid lane for Flash, with Dia1 being much better player than Cardi, and jungle as well, kind of most of the time in GAM's favor. And then on the other side, Slater over Blazes. So this, I think it's a good strategy. Try to go for bot lane again. Try to just draft a strong top laner that can teleport into the bot lane early on and turn fights again, like Yoshin did in the first game with the set. So yeah, I think that's the best approach for Flash to take for today. Then build on that. Try to beat GAM again later on, potentially in playoffs.
Yeah, Yoshino also having a very good day. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think a big part of that was the Syndra ban, because game 1, Yujin tried to do the same thing, but got
very good call.
Completely shut down by the Syndra. So denying that safety from GAM's bot lane just really helped open him up.
Also probably a comfort champ for Blazes, right? A former mid laner has played Syndra in VCS in mid lane for GAM, so it's potentially one of his most comfortable champs. Put him on ADCs, force him on ADCs, and try to exploit the bot lane matchup that is probably going in your favor once again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Yoshino so far has had a really good series as well.
Yeah.
The Kennen game wasn't as much of a standout as the set, but he has looked really good. He's looked better than Kiaya. So that's potentially another lane that can be opened up.
Yeah, I mean, he made top lane be an almost non-factor in the last game, which against Soraka is not something you usually say, right? I usually try to get kills on Soraka because you know that she will outscale you and outshine you in team fights. But good position on Kiaya, exploiting his maybe little bit lack of sense where to be on the Soraka. They caught him in the mid lane, they caught him in the bot lane, 2 free kills on the very easy to kill Soraka without barrier. So yeah, good to see Yoshino just playing a very solid game. I think the first one was a little bit more impressive. He landed a lot of very cool set engages. It did a great laning phase against one of the hardest matchups. Got the solo kill as well. So I'd like to see him back on the set, I have to say.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like them to ban out the Akali this time. I feel like leaving that up. And like again, I don't think this Tristana needs a ban. They banned it twice. I don't think it was something Dia1's going to pick when they're trying to win.
No.
Of course, they're always trying to win, but GAM has drafted a few very memey for fun comps, And I think
I think
Tristana is
Tristana
part of
is-
that.
No, I think Tristana is an okay mid laner. It's
I
not
agree,
as good
but
as Lucian.
I don't think it's what Dia's going to pick, though. I think
No.
Tristana's fine, but I think Dia wouldn't pick it in a normal game. He's much more likely
Maybe
to
he
go
would.
for... Maybe.
But even if you would, it's not ban worthy. Like
I agree, yeah.
I don't quite agree with your assessment. A meme champ or a meme comp that it's not normal for Dia. But even if it's a normal champ for Dia, it's not ban worthy. It's not as good as Lucian. It's not as good as Cassiopeia. So don't see the reason to ban it either.
Yeah, absolutely. So if the Akali is banned out, what would you like to... And the set is picked, because I think we have Flash on the blue side. They could first pick set once again. What do we want to see picked into it? Vinny. I know, because I know what Yulwei's answer is. Yulwei's just going to say Soraka. So Vinny, what do you think?
I'm going to say one of my favorite champions, even though it's never going to happen. Kled.
Yep.
Really strong matchup into it.
Kiaya is really good on Kled.
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
loves
and
that
Kiaya
champion.
is known, has played a lot of Kled. So Kled could be a very good pick.
Kled is the hardest set counter in the game.
Interesting.
He destroys.
It's definitely one of.
Can he
So-
yank set out of his haymaker animation?
No, but he dashes through him.
Ah, yeah, that makes
He just
sense.
saved the joust.
You dash through him.
He destroys it.
Yeah, it's
If
pretty
you,
ridiculous.
again, if you, I
And-
keep saying it, if you get a Kled picked against you, lane swap to mid. Because you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think Kled is playable. I don't actually know why everyone.
It's definitely
doesn't-
playable.
Yeah, I
but
think it's okay in the meta. It's not a
it's-
super strong top laner, but it has a lot of impact. Can go for team fights. Very good initiation tool. Also one of the best champs for Kiaya. So I could see it happen. Mordekaiser is another one. We have seen a lot against Zed, and I think Kiaya could answer with the Mordekaiser as well if he doesn't want to go to Soraka again.
Yeah, I mean, the Mordekaiser was banned out in phase 2 of the bans when they did pick the set in game 1. I think they are aware of that. In terms of pick order, I'd really like to see them lock away, this is Flash, lock away a strong bot lane in the first half of the draft. I think it's super important to get Slater on something strong. Don't go back to the Kai'Sa, please. You looked great on Kalista, you looked really good on MF. I'd be happy to see either of those two picks again.
I'm also interested in Aphelios in this draft because maybe they give over Aphelios deliberately once again to Blazes and try to draft a that exploits the Aphelios' weaknesses. Maybe go for Kalista again. I mean, he's immobile, right? He's pretty easy to kill on lane if you can lock him. So
true. Yeah,
succeeded on the last game. So yeah,
I think if you're Flash, you could potentially, if you're to ban the set, maybe try and early rotation an MF or Brom, because the Brom from CBL was good, and if you can get both, that will do wonders.
yeah.
I mean, if you're lucky, you might be able to go set into MF Brom, but
that
leaving
way,
up
if you're
MF
wondering
Brom
why the
is
game- why we're not-
probably-
pick and bans. There seems to be a little delay happening on stage, so we're just filling time a little bit.
Oh, there's plenty to talk about here. This is a super exciting game. I'm really happy this went to game 3. It would have been a little bit of a letdown if our match of the week had just been a 2-0. But we've gotten here. GAM has finally lost at least one game. So yeah, I think...
Yeah.
Okay, another question here is how do we handle the mid lane? Because Dia1 is absolutely a stronger player than Cutty. There's just no denying that. But do you just try and stick Cutty on something safe? He looked good on the Cassiopeia. I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Just give him Cassio or Rice again. Let him just farm the mid lane. Set him up for success, but you don't have to play through Cutty. He just has to be there and play waves.
Something that can shut the wave really quickly, that can match roams if needed. Just try and basically make mid lane a non-factor. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, if he
Maybe take away his teleport, because his teleport usage has been a little bit atrocious.
Yeah, he's had some really, really bad TPs. Just TPing in to do absolutely nothing several times, not just a once-off. That's definitely not ideal. That to be said, like, that can be improved because someone can just shot call it for him.
Yeah.
They can kind of
shouldn't
just
be
say,
hard to adapt that one.
Yeah.
So I think I'm most interested in that and bot lane though. I think mid lane will be a farm fest once again. Maybe Dia is able to influence the rest of the map as he did very well in the first week and on Friday as well. So I think Dia 1 today has had little impact on the game, or less impact on the game compared to before. Obviously his Pantheon game still, he ended up with 10 kills and was part of all the dives. But yeah, on some of his Cassiopeia games, I think he was a little bit more proactive and set up the plays himself. Today, it feels like he's following the calls more than actually setting up things himself.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, he did actually win the official MVP game.
Yeah, he had 12 kills. Of course, he won the official MVP.
Yeah.
They like their KD. They like their KD. But I mean, he did get 12 kills.
Yeah.
He did get 12 kills. I mean,
Pantheon also only died once. So he had a good game, but his game impact was not as high as the stats make it look like.
Pantheon actually seems like a pretty good counter pick into MF, because you can just walk at her during the bullet time and then W her. That actually seems like a pretty cool counter pick. Not as hard as something like a Braum, but if you can't, can't get Braum, we are in Champ Select. That came thick and fast. As we'll just have to do mine a little bit of production stuff to get us in. Don't you worry. Here we are.
Expected. Right. Flash back on blue side, GAM back on red side, like in the first game. GAM going with the Blitzcrank Aphelios, and third Gran is still pending.
Yep.
And on the blue side, we have Flash with Tristana again, Elise against Levi, and Syndra. Nice to see the Syndra being banned again.
Yeah. And it's going to be a first pick set.
I think it's very likely.
Oh, no, it is. I think I'm ahead of you.
Oh, it actually is. Yeah. You are very far ahead of me then, because I've only just seen that. We might, just while we're loading in, I might try and catch up a little bit. But there is the set for Yoshino. Had a fantastic game one on that champion. Tier 1 could answer with his Cassiopeia, though. Very good on the stage.
That's what's being hovered.
That's very good to see.
So that's a very, very strong pick for mid lane. I'd like to see either a bot lane pick of some kind or the jungle, the J4.
Yeah.
He's decided against the Lee Sin.
Yeah, he probably should not go back to the Lee Sin, even though he had the game.
Kiana's open.
The second game was very bad.
I'd love to see the Kiana pick.
Kiana into J4 is actually not that great, though. Especially later on in the team fight.
But
the J4 was super annoying to deal with for Kiana.
And it's locked.
There it is. I think, Eugene, I agree with you that Jarvan is a bit of a soft counter, but I think it's kind of like the Rek'Sai into Lee Sin. It's not quite hard enough to do it.
And at this point, they can still flex the Kiana.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing too much Kiana mid, particularly into
I'd like to see true. I'd like to see a or something.
I think Rise. I'd like Rise. Ooh, I think you're still quite far ahead of me, because there's the Braum.
Braum is good global. If you look at global meta, I would have liked to.
Just gonna fix the stream up now if you guys radio cast. Apologies for a moment, everyone.
Yeah, I think Kati is very comfortable on the Rise and Cassiopeia. Potential for GAM to ban away the Rise as well, so Kati has to find another pick. I would have liked to see him put on a safe champ for himself.
So GAM has picked MF into Braum at this point.
That is just like a mistake. We are back. Should be a little bit more close to live. I do apologise. That seems like a mistake to me.
Yeah, same here.
So I think this is not looking at the Braum too much. This is just trying to put lasers on a safe champ in bot lane, or a champ they can dominate bot lane with, and following it up with the Kalista ban. So GAM is aware of their problem in the bot lane and just wants to go with a very lane dominant champ, very easy to play in the MF, and not looking too much into the later game with the MF into Braum, which is a little bit of a problem.
Interesting.
I think
The Leona ban.
Yeah, that makes sense. Paulette really likes the
Which-
champion.
That Palette's Leona is good, but generally Braum is a good matchup
Yeah.
into Leona.
True.
We like to emphasize that as well. But it's also we've also seen a lot of MF combinations. Teams seem to
True.
think that this is a very strong combination. Very good at
you
setting
can
up
keep
plays.
people in bullet time forever.
So something I'm a little bit scared of, and Yulwei, I know you'll get the same flashbacks I have. There's a lot of AD carries banned. Does Slater default to Kai'Sa?
Oh no.
That would make me very...
Senna is
Well-
still open though.
Yeah, but does he
Senna
play
would-
it?
Senna's open. Ash is open.
Yeah, I'd love to see Ash.
Play Ash.
So Team Flash definitely needs AP damage still. Rice is open, so Rice should be the go-to for. And then we go. Slater can actually in this composition. Kai'Sa might not be too
Ooh.
bad, honestly.
That's just a hover.
This is
The
interesting.
LMS special.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on.
Got buffed
Come on,
this
baby.
patch. Got buffed this patch.
This patch, like, I think I say it. Oh no, there's the Lucian. That makes a lot of sense. Has
Lucian Braum.
Yep,
That's
Lucian Braum.
still a very good.
That is a
Unless they pick another AD
tasty
carry.
comp for sure.
Thank you. I was almost worried it was going to be.
Lucian into Cassio though is it's not my favorite. Lucian has a lot of trouble fighting into Cassio.
Early levels, Lucian can get a good bully on, so it depends on.
It's
that.
not on lane. I mean in team fights.
I know what you mean, but so if Lucian can shut them down. Oh wait, I guess it's not even Lucian mid. God damn it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But there is the Mordekaiser last
Wrong
pick. We
choice.
have our comps
Wrong.
for the penultimate game. Or not the penultimate, the ultimate game.
It is.
Fact.
It's the deciding
very
game.
interesting.
So,
Yeah, if you were going to pick Mordekaiser, you should have picked it alone. But
They got it.
It's very
Yeah.
tier list comp for GAM, right? A lot of strong champs. in all the
Rakan's a bit
positions.
weird, but it's Palat.
Rakan? Yeah, I think they wanted to go to Rakan to have better engage options into Braum. Because Leona and Nautilus Leona is banned, so Nautilus can struggle into Braum. Because Braum can prevent the death charge.
Yeah,
So
bit weird.
good adaptation. I think the adaptation is not bad. I like Carti going to Oriana. Because usually we see the Rice struggle into Cassio, and Oriana is a little stronger, especially in team fights against the Cassio. Cassio needs to be super careful about the Oriana ball.
Yeah, that's very, very true. We could see some very good shockwaves like we did see last night. There were definitely some highlight plays out of Oriana. Overall, I actually quite like both comps here. The top lane, I've said it before, it's a skill matchup that very slightly favors the Mordekaiser, but Yoshino has been looking better than Kiaya tonight, so I favor him here. I think
Yeah.
Flash has a really, really strong team comp. So does GAM. It's so difficult. Both of these team comps are so good. Flash, they've learnt to draft.
Yeah, it's great to see. Vinny, what do you think of these team comps? Which one do you pick?
I think early game we should be seeing, assuming player skill equal. Flash should be getting off to a lead early, and I think it's a much harder comp to play the later it gets because, as you mentioned, the Lucian into Cassio, very short range AD carry, and yeah, so if Flash can get rolling, it could easily go to Flash, but the longer it goes, the more I favor GAM.
Fair enough. And with those thoughts, I once again will have to say goodbye to Vinny for just a little while. It's always great to have you, though. Chat, once again, please thank Vinny for helping. You don't have to listen to my analysis if Vinny's here, and no one wants to listen to me. But
That's not
here we
true.
go.
Look at the top lane. Everyone wants to listen to your top lane insights and
True.
fight against sad matchup.
I have been playing a lot of top lane. But here we go. Yijin early on is on this top side. Could be, I think he'll just move down. It's just the 5-point defense for both teams here, really. Nothing particularly special.
Yep. And while I agree with most of that There's also absolutely blow the early game open with very strong level 2, level 3 ganks on the J4. Could snowball Dia potentially. If he gets a good gank on Cardi, Dia could run away with this game through mid lane.
That's very, very possible. The bot lane,
like
though, super favorable for Flash, I feel. Lucian Braum is so strong.
It's quite hard to play this Rakan into Lucian Braum. It's very easy to get punished if you overextend. So Palette has to be careful. And we've seen Palette int a few times on Rakan. I think back to probably the most famous int play of the last season. We just tried to stop waves and died for absolutely no reason.
That was horrific. I'm sure most of our viewers don't quite know the play we're referring to, but I think it's if you join our Discord, which is below the stream, there's quite a few interesting panels below the stream. If you do, I think it's on a command. I think we have a exclamation mark Palette command that shows off the best play he's ever made.
Levi, early line priority for set, that is normal, right?
Yeah, completely normal. Early level set smashes. He just does a little bit too much damage, but Mordekaiser will come back. Set also has really good shove, but here, exactly what you were talking about, the early good gank in the mid lane. Carti instantly dies. No chance to do anything.
There we go. That's the very easy setup with the Miasma. One of my favorite in the mid lane, not for 2v2 fight capabilities, but for early ganks, because it's so hard to do anything against this engage. Very easy to land the knock up into Miasma. Double flash invested though, so they really wanted to secure the kill. So there's a little bit of potential for Yijin to invest his flash and try to get a kill back for Cardi, who didn't use his flash.
Yeah, that's very true. That said, Levi being back in his mojo is we get a replay here. There's not much to say. He just died.
Yep, great execution.
Good flash.
Again, Levi, E flash, W, flash W from Dia. Easiest kill they have ever done.
Ooh, Yoshino in a little bit of trouble here. He missed the Haymaker, so Kiaya can walk him down, but won't keep going, which is a good trade, though.
Interesting interaction.
Where he pulled him with the E.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because you can't interrupt the Haymaker, no matter what. There's a flash facebreaker, though, and Yijin's coming in. Will force the flash out of Kiaya, so it's a 1-for-1 on the summoners, but that Mordekaiser is now very vulnerable.
Yep. Still flash for flash trade, so it's actually also an opportunity for Levi to punish the set, potentially.
I think set's harder to
ganking set is ganking set is quite difficult and quite risky as well, especially if you are under level J4. Right now he's actually on pace in terms of levels, so a gank right now would be great for Levi. Sadly for him, he's on the wrong side of the map, and also a lot of control for Yijin around top side.
Yeah, that is very true. Yoshino also going for the reset. Kiaya's first back, not very impressive. Just got a refillable and a cloth armor. Interestingly enough, I actually disagree with Yoshino picking up a refillable. You're set. You have a passive. You don't need a refill.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because his passive's just so strong. I mean, it's not the worst mistake in the world, and he has got 2 long swords, which means he is definitely got more stats.
10.1 though.
True.
So his passive got nerfed a little bit.
I still think it's very.
Yeah.
I also think it's not what I want them to nerf. I'd much rather they nerf his W, because I think his passive's cool. And it's counterplay to mana champs.
Do you think Mordekaiser is favored in this matchup because he can go for the Bramble West while Zed can't, because he's fighting an AP enemy?
Partially, yeah. Definitely part of that. It's also just that Mordekaiser can deal a lot of consistent damage and struggles on set. But there is the ults being used in the mid lane. This has all gone wrong for Flash. Oh. They will manage to get away, but he misses the Q and just survives anyway on a scrap of health.
That's
disaster.
The level up coming in. Nice ult from DR1. He was very close to. If he didn't get his ult out, I think Yijin gets the jump. Yijin gets the kill as well.
Probably.
So very good response from DR1. He's low on mana. He probably has to reset now and invest his TP to get back to lane, but that's not the worst.
Yeah, it's fine. Carti invested his before, so that is just a TP for TP. Down in the bot lane, it's a 20 CS lead for this MF.
That's very surprising.
This should not be happening.
Especially if you look at the player names as well. Slater against Blazes. Blazes is not supposed to slam Slater in lane.
Absolutely.
Quite the opposite, actually. There's a ward, dear. There's a ward. No.
Yijin on the way down. Gonna cover this wave off. Good little bit of XP for this Kiana here. Does get to stand near some lane minions while they die. How exciting for a jungler.
Also, solo XP. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
Very exciting.
Should be first to level 6 now. So, very strong potential gank with level 6. Not sure where he wants to utilize this. It's actually not that easy to make a good gank happen. Bot lane is the easiest to make work, but even then, it's Rakan and very fast MF. So.
Yep, and the Mountain Drake has been started up here. I don't think Flash needs to fight over this. I think just give it up. It's just a Mountain Drake. It does not matter whatsoever. And it is, once again, the classic, just under the 1,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. Oh, Flash, you don't need to be here. Get out.
Yeah, it's just the Mountain Drake.
And the top lane, a bit of a trade.
For GAM?
Just a mountain. No need to go in.
I mean, yeah, Mountain Drake is actually not that bad in this game for GAM. They have 3 champs potentially who built a little bit of defense. So actually profit a little bit from the 6%. Especially Mordekaiser, I'd say, and Levi as well. Levi is going to go full tank, hopefully. If he doesn't, he's inting. So...
I mean, did you see last game? But down in the bot lane, it is the engage under tower. Paulette has taken so much damage. Levi's here, but so is Yijin. The concussive blows are going to do a lot. CBL needs to be careful. There's a supreme display of talent. Hitting Blazes in the alcove, but it is 1 death already. Oh no, it's all gone wrong for Flash. Oh no, the game has been broken open once again. Slater will go down. No, never mind. Dia is here. He flashes in. And it's 3 kills in the bot lane for GAM. This is the GAM special.
Yeah, this is the GAM we know and love. You might want to pause for like 1 second, so I actually don't have to wait for the plays to happen and then comment on them. If you would be so kind.
I did pause for a moment. Do you mean you're ahead of me or behind me?
No, I'm behind.
Okay,
yeah. And I already tried to refresh, so seem to not be able to catch up with you.
I paused for a moment. We can just do a quick resync while we have a look. I can pause at 9:20.
Okay. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Easy. Sorry about that. It is a little bit of just the reality of doing a bootleg cast. Remember, donate $10,000 and we'll move to Vietnam and do it better. But this fight in the bot lane was just a disaster.
It looked very dire for Paulette in the beginning, but his innate tankiness with his rune gave him enough time to survive the second turret shot as well, and then the re-engage once again, support leveling up to level 6 turns the fight. Turns is a strong word, the fight was already won, but it secures another kill at least.
Yep.
And then Dia 1 is here to pick up the next one. Nicely done, 4-0 for GAM. This is the GAM we know.
2k gold ahead at 10 minutes, not quite on track for their normal 5k gold lead at 15. But in the end, it was just Levi's timely arrival. It just does a little bit more than Yijin the early game does Jarvan, despite a pretty good supreme display of talent being used.
Yeah, and he's still ahead. Whoa, the 280 crit. That is so much damage for 10 minutes.
It's absurd. When it bounces off a dead minion and then crits, not much fun at all. Something also to note.
450 on the minion.
Yeah.
450 at 11 minutes. What?
Yeah, that's MF. Welcome to MF.
Yeah.
That's how double up is, with a love tap as well. It's absurd. As Yijin is here just to help out, but they're going to go under tower. The supreme display of talent's actually really good onto Paulette. CBL blocking most of that bullet time, and the dive does not go well. But up in the top lane, Yoshino is in the death realm, losing this fight to Kiaya very hard. It is that haunting guy's already picked up. He's gone. I don't like the Tiamat in this matchup.
Oh, Kati already used his ult, so there's no potential for a solo kill, but Kati wins the trade, as to be expected, because Orianna is very good into Cassiopeia, especially... No, not actually, especially in lane. She's very good later on as well, so it's just a very good pick into Cassiopeia. Can control her, not the same level of consistent damage, but it's very hard for Cassiopeia to actually apply the damage to Orianna, because she can kite forever.
Very, very true. Now, we do have some movement up to the top lane here. Yoshino rushes forward. Flash Facebreaker wants to get the angle for the suplex. And he does. The concussive blows will come in. But Yoshino slams the fist into the Man of Metal. That would really hurt when you think about it. Set's just using his knuckles straight into Mordekaiser.
He's the boss. He can deal with that.
Yeah, that's true. He is the boss. But they do pick up that kill, extending Yoshino's lead up there. I would have liked to see him go Spectre's Cow first instead of Tiamat. Go Spectre's into Triforce rather than Tiamat. He has picked up the Spectre's Cow now, but I don't think you can go Triforce anymore. I think it would come in too late. We might just see Titanic.
First game you play Titanic first item as well. Unlikely. The Trinity is very unlikely here. I think Yoshino does not want to get Trinity. Which is sad to see, because it's the best build, right? We don't see the typical change in build for Kiaya. Usually into set, we have seen a lot of early to be even stronger in the 1v1. Not actually the case here.
Interesting, actually. I'm not 100% sure if that's the right decision, but we will find out. He looked very strong in that initial Death Realm. Also worth noting, in the Death Realm, Mordekaiser is strong. Not fully representative of a 1v1. As Shelly has been started up here, but it looks like GAM have thought a little bit better of that play. Never mind. They're going to keep on it. There is a ward. Flash has full knowledge of what is going on here, but I think they're just going to trade it for the Dragon. Not a good trade, but one they might have to take considering the gold deficit.
Also, if they can delay long enough, they might actually trade this. It might actually take GAM too long to get platings. So, good delay from Flash. They get the free dragon on the bot side. Infernal Drake. I mean, Infernal Drake is a little bit better than Mountain Drake, but still quite worthless. So, if it's only
on
the
a
trade
Cloud
dragon,
Rift.
Yeah, I think they'll not have the time to get the plating. So, good delay from Flash. Good to see.
Yep, Shelly has just been summoned up, so she will not get the charge in time. Will do a lot of damage to the tower, but definitely not what GAM wanted. Well played from Flash, trying to stem the bleeding. They've definitely got the Band-Aid on, but oh no, it might have just been completely ripped off as they go for the dive. Slater doing as much as he can, does flash away from the Cataclysm, but goes down to the Q regardless. Yoshino's here, uses the slam to try and get away, gets a big shield, needs to keep running. It might just be Slater going down, but here comes Flash. Tier 1 is very far away. There's the supreme display of talent. Very well done there. Blazers goes down instantly. Kiaya doing an excellent job zoning, but Levi is dead. Yoshino caught in the petrifying gaze. Gets the big shield. Kiaya will be the next one to go down potentially. No, I tell a lie. It's CBL. And Yoshino actually might not be able to win this fight. Needs a haymaker. Can't get it. Yijin now has a lot to do.
It's not there anymore.
Kati, but they're very low here. Yijin can absolutely execute. Down goes one. They've got to find these last two potentially to get back in this game. Yijin cannot hit that. Could potentially keep going forward, but I don't think it would be a good idea. Absolute chaos in the top lane, but Flash comes out on top.
Yeah, Flash could have gotten the last two kills, or Yijin could have gotten the better Q. A little bit sad for him, but he still played the fight quite well. And in the end, a little bit of an overextension for GAM. They still come out ahead in terms of gold because they secured the first turret there. Second turret actually. First turret went down the bot lane. But yeah, still a nice reaction from Flash. We see the Flash is actually really the first team to be able to react to GAM's plays in time and punish them for overextensions.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked pretty bad at first because it was just CBL getting dove and died. Well, went very low. Actually didn't die though. Slater was the one that went down. If Slater had lived and been able to have an impact on that fight, it would have gone very differently.
Yep.
So much CC. Levi's on top of Slater. He can't get away.
Yoshino is here, buying a little bit of time. Good face breaker. Also extending the fight here. Levi's stopwatch just to prevent the haymaker damage. Should have preserved the stopwatch for now, because now he's actually in trouble.
Yeah,
Levi gets turret aggro. Thought he would be able to kill the turret a little bit quicker. Wasn't. So that's a big oopsie from Levi there. Now Flash turns away from the turret.
Gaia does so much damage here.
Yeah. Cardi has no mana, so you can't actually do a whole lot with this. Also missed his ultimate early on, if you didn't catch that one. Cardi with a pretty bad fight, we have to say. And Heejin here has the opportunity to get 2 more kills, but nope. Another fight on the bot lane.
Oh, we do have the push coming in here. Kiaya leading the way. Has looked pretty good on this Mordekaiser. Pretty much solo won the back half of that last fight, actually. He did an absurd amount of damage. But, oh no, Yijin gets caught, but manages to flash. CBL now in a lot of trouble. They go for the Supreme Display of Talent. Might just do enough CC. Yijin's in the Death Realm, but he's just going to chill under tower. I don't think Kiaya can Death Realm dive him. Oh no, Yijin! It wasn't
that
called.
Was so sad. Yeah. Yeah, that was really not on Yijin. It looked like Yijin just stepped straight into the bullet time, which, yeah, he did, but the bullet time was not visible for him in the Death Realm. So he came out of the Death Realm, thought he was safe under turret, and suddenly there's a hell raining down on him with bullet time.
That needed to be called. Like, go back towards tower,
Miscommunication for Flash, and now this
absolutely, and here comes the dive. CBL now trying to find his way out, but no. Ooh, Cardi will pick up one on the backside. But, oh my word, GAM, they lost one game, but they don't want to lose a series. They're looking very hot. 5k gold lead at 18 minutes. Flash, you're at the bottom. You're at the bottom of a very, very tall.
Yep. Definitely the best game so far from GAM. Looking way cleaner, especially in the dive execution. First game, they had a good start as well in the first game, right? But they overdived a little too much, and then Flash came back into the game. We're almost at the point to outscale before Levi found the hero kick. But this time again, way better scaling for GAM. Not compared to Flash's comp, but compared to their first comp. And then also a 4-0 DR1 now. This is scary to deal with.
Absolutely is. Gonna get another look at this fight. This started off with just Flash getting caught. Didn't have vision control.
There. Good play for Yijin to prevent CBL from going down. Now look at this. Yijin.
Just unfortunate. It's not his fault.
So unfortunate.
He comes out of the Death Realm as he doubly is. It's not his fault. Very, very unfortunate.
Someone should have really warned him there. That was ugly.
Yeah. Difficult to call in the moment because sometimes you forget that you're junglers in the Death Realm. But still, it needed to be called. Professional play. Bit disappointing. He'll bounce back from that one. Flash is not down and out yet. They do still have some very strong threats here. But what do you think of this Banshee's second on Orianna? I feel like Cardi needs to be doing some damage.
I think it's hard to say, but I think it's Cassiopeia will give him a lot of sturdiness in the team fights, and might actually deter Kiaya from ulting him, especially if the Banshee's Veil is still active. Kiaya, in fact, can't ult him, so I think it's fine. It's fine. Lucian needs more items though.
Absolutely. Only has that Blade of the Ruined King. Slater, so far, not looking great on this Lucian. Real shame. Potentially could have seen him on a different ADC. Could have gone on to that Jinx, but I don't think that would be going much better. While ADCs against this GAM lineup seems a little bit dirty. That's kind of the flaw with that Banshees right there. Just got popped by a Jarvany.
Yeah, that's true.
Really the flaw with the item.
I mean, it's only 40-second cooldown, so as long as Cardi plays safe for the next 40 seconds, he will have the passive available again. Well, we have an interesting adaptation from Palette, actually, in terms of item build. And
deal one, a little bit caught out here. The Supreme Display of Talent does not find anything. Did get a good knockback there.
Yeah, had to flash, though.
Yeah.
That's very valuable. If you get the... If you get the shockwave on top of DR1 and he doesn't have Flash, you can follow up with the Supreme Display of Talent.
Oh, but Paulette
that
flying
engage.
in, Levi flashing over the wall. Oh my god, so much damage being done. But Cardi flashes away. He does live. A lot invested for not a lot of result. They could potentially go for this tower. Slater coming in from the side is popping the culling. A little bit of damage onto DR1. Overall, a bit of a disappointing cull. But should save the tower, for now at least.
Yeah. I wanted to point out Palette's first item here. It's the
Righteous Glory.
Righteous Glory, that's the name, right? So movement speed items are very good on Rakan, obviously. Usually we see him more go towards the
real,
crown.
By the way.
Yeah, it's very fast.
This is a two-man Baron at 21 minutes.
They ping it. It's still on 7 HP.
They know. Yoshino's coming in. The set is so good in the pit, especially early on.
Super dangerous.
Yijin does not have ult though, but there's a good shockwave. Levi should be going down. Never mind, as Kiaya now could be used. I think they might actually be in the Death Realm. Yeah, they totally are. He's losing this fight really hard as they come out of the Death Realm. Watch for the man drop. Ooh, never mind. He uses it, but instantly gets the kill. It's a 1-for-0, and they stop the Baron. Can they find anything more? This could be GAM throwing a little bit to let them back in. Well done by CBL. Puts the concussives down. DR1 doing so much damage. Goes gold. Slater, I think you just want to back off, man. Yijin getting one. Cardi getting another. And this could be Flash taking the Baron. Yeah. I don't think they have the health bar. Nope, they're going to go for it.
4-for-0 trade, and they will go for the Baron. They have lifesteal on Slater, so he actually does not have to care about his HP bar. He can just lifesteal off the Baron. The Baron damage not too great, but with 5 players, it's almost always possible to take Baron.
Very true. Levi is here though, could potentially go for the steal, get shockwaved and Supreme Display of Talented. Just play it safe. Absolutely. Baron for Flash. Back to 1.5K gold.
Yep.
We
GAM
have a
needs to stay on top of this game. GAM needs to really be sharp to beat Flash, which is a great sign for the league, right? We've seen GAM make mistakes, make a little bit of trolley plays against EVOS. They drafted AP Shyvana, still got 5K gold in the lead, and then almost threw away the game, still won in the end. So it's very good to see Flash punish our best team in the league and potentially challenge for best team in the league as well.
Yeah, I mean, if they get up on this one, it's definitely going to be looking like they are the best. Paulette takes so much damage. Yoshino comes in and just a good fight for Flash. Really? The Death Realm goes so badly.
I want to focus
on
Yijin. How does Yijin get in? He's poking from the side, throwing Q after Q. He actually doesn't do a whole lot. So we see Yoshino securing the first kill. Very good awareness from Cardi to just get the free Paulette. And now look, CBL flashing on top of DR1.
That was sick.
Immediately concussive blows get stacked up. DR1 can't do anything. Good stopwatch, but in the end can't turn around anything. Blazes also with a good effort to get Cardi, but then Yoshino's there to prevent Cardi from dying. Now Flash still 2k behind, but might actually be in a stronger position.
Yeah, very, very possible, and they will pick up a Cloud Drake as well. It's 2 Drakes each. A Soul quite far away.
Cloud Drake is super strong for Flash. If they get Soul. Cloud Soul would actually be one of the strongest Cloud Souls for Flash in this composition, in my opinion. Slater, the Solution is a very good Cloud Soul champ. We have Orianna. I think Orianna is very good with Cloud Soul as well, especially in this case where she didn't go for the usual Orianna build, which is the Face Rush. This time went with the Airy, a little bit more defensive, a little bit more supportive as well.
I like that, though.
Trying to prop up Slater.
He is now just ahead of Dia in the mid lane. Dia had such a good start, but Cardi is caught right back up.
Yeah, he got all the kills on the team fights, so...
Yeah.
A few kills should have gone to Slater, in the best case for Flash. So Slater is still quite far behind his item spike.
Very true. He is catching up, though, onto Blazers. He's only a BF sword behind. It was much worse early on. But we need to see a few more players for GAM sort of pull their weight a little bit here. This is looking like Dia having to carry quite hard. Not the worst player to have to do that, of course. But would like to see Yoshino and Blazers have a little bit more impact in the fights.
So very crucially, Dia's Flash is coming up. It's just a one-off cooldown. So now it's available for the next fight, which should be then in favor of GAM. I think with a Flash of DR1, as we see the Death Realm on Jin. Down from Kiaya.
That's
Bad
dirty.
target to Death Realm.
Bad time as well. There's no reason to do it there.
You can just use the grass to stay invisible for the whole time. So
I think he did actually force the Kiana ult though. Knock him back.
That's true.
At
Ult
least something.
traded.
Yeah,
but
but
it
I think
seems
the
like
Death Realm-
Kiana ult cooldown is shorter.
Oh, much shorter. Death Realm has a very long cooldown. He is nearly level 16, so the cooldown isn't particularly long at this point, but it's definitely longer than the rank 2 of Kiana ult. Speaking of Kiana, could be caught here, does go into that stealth, but they will be found.
No flash.
Absolutely nothing Yijin can do, was just caught far too forward. GAM is so good at vision control.
Yeah, they were like 1 second off Eugen's 5 seconds later engage on him.
They traded for a tower though.
Very good awareness. And solo gold for Slater. It's actually not solo. CBL got a little share of that gold as well. Not the
Using
worst.
the shockwave for wave clear. Yoshino needs to be really careful here. That miasma stops him from ulting. It stops him from doing most of what Set wants to do. Can they get that last hit? They can.
So
Inhib tower is broken. If they need to stop recalls here. Flash needs to charge forward. Slater is on the Inhib tower, but if anyone manages to recall, they'll stop him.
They don't want to fight.
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
want to fight here.
I think they need to stop recalls. No, never mind. Slater's not going to go for the inhib. The recalls will come in, but it's an inhib tower for an inhib tower in the end.
Yeah, great trade from Flash. We've seen this play a lot this season, which is a great sign for the VCS as a whole, I'd say, because macro was always the point we were talking about the most. I mean, there are micro misplays, obviously, a lot of times as well, but macro looking better for almost every team. And Flash with a good punishment of GAM. Look at the gold, almost even. We are back to a very close game here.
Yeah, that we are. And just to comment on set builds, just doing a bit of a check-in. Abyssal Mask has been picked up. Really good for side laning against Kiaya. Very little Kiaya can do here, even in the Death Realm. Set should absolutely wallop him. And I mean, it's really good against Dia as well. Overall, it's just a sick build, I think. I think this Abyssal Mask on Set is really, really good.
Yeah.
We have to see where the next fight will be. Baron is not up. There will be a Cloud Drake in about 45 seconds. If they can get anything going.
And 3 items completed for Blazes. He's very strong. He's looking at 100 soon. So if we get the perfect GAM setup with the ult from MF as well, GAM might still win teamfights very easily.
Yeah, but that can be said for Flash as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flash has a great wombo as well. It's actually going to come down to positioning and vision control, which I think actually favors GAM. They're very, very good.
And something that is super fun to see in this team composition is, as I said before, Lucian drives the team fight into Cassio, but also the J4. But Cassio struggles the team fight into Oriana, so they counter them. The counters are on both sides. It will be interesting to see if Dia1 or Slater can overcome the counter.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see down here, Yijin is soloing out the Cloud Drake, would put Flash on soul point, but GAM might try and take an engage or an inside track. Ooh, this could be an inhib for a Cloud Drake, and that's a really, really bad trade. They need to wait for their jungler to get here. Yijin, why aren't you recalling? He's running there. They're going to try and do their absolute best. They need to clear this wave. Here comes Yijin. Now he's pressing B. But GAM does back off. In the end, it's a Cloud Drake for nothing.
Yeah, I think Yijin wanted to go for a flank there. Realized he was a little far away. But he's still on the map and now full HP once again.
I don't think he's been spotted either. I don't think they know exactly where he is.
No, they don't have wards. Kiaya tried to E the brush there. He did not know where he was, so they have no
GAM
idea
is
where Yijin
pinging
is
Baron.
right now.
Is vision near? There is vision in the pit, in fact, for Flash. Yijin is a solid snake out here. Could potentially look for the flank here, but I'm not going to have the right side of the track.
Now they are spotted on the Baron.
Yep, they're not actually starting it, just clearing the vision. They finally spotted Yijin. Diana comes out of hiding. GAM
GAM should
absolutely
be
needs to be
careful.
careful.
Because last Baron play actually got Flash into the game. If they another Baron, this might be the end of the game for and Flash might walk away with a
Slater
victory
is very
today.
far split from the team.
Slater
Slater needs to regroup. But GAM is just going to go for the charge down the mid lane. Yoshino goes in, has found Kiaya, forces
We've
that
swapped
flash.
positions here.
Yeah, they're on the wrong side of the map for both teams. Who will be able to find a fight? Yijin has a flank brewing, but GAM will manage to slip away through the jungle. Can anything be found? No. The jump forward
There's
with
so
the Q.
much missing information for both teams. They don't know where the enemy.
They're totally blind.
Very interesting tactical move there. A little bit of chess being played on Summoner's
Oh,
Rift,
but here comes Blazers getting caught. Has to flash over the wall. They're going to follow him, though. Carty. Ooh, not the ult.
Oh, Carty.
Oh,
What was
no.
that?
Oh, don't shame him, observers. Observers, come on.
Well, you can shame it for
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
It
The
wasn't
supreme
his
display of
first.
talent is used, but it doesn't hit. Deal1 has to burn his flash.
That was Flash supreme display of talent as well.
Yep.
A lot of flashes used for the top side of Flash. Staying true to their team name. So that's good to see. But Blazers and Dia1 now missing flashes GAM, which will be crucial in the next team fight, potentially. Or most likely, I should say.
Yeah, quite possibly. I do think...
Look at the cooldown for Cardi. This ult has no cooldown whatsoever.
He's got 2 Cloud Drakes and his own CDR. This thing comes up instantly.
Yeah.
So it's actually not the worst miss. The sombrero was a little bit ugly. Partially,
they would have gotten 2 kills there if he hit the...
Okay, I want to give him a little bit of respite. It was partially because the ball was on Yoshino, and Yoshino flashed the wall out of range.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Palette just gonna go down instantly. The man drop being used. Good shielding on that bullet time. Yoshino is a very strong frontline. Facebreaker won't hit, but a little bit of damage will land. Levi has to slink away, but they get the free pick on this Rakan.
And Eden wasn't even there, so it was a 4v5, and they got the pick on.
Gonna start the Baron straight up. GAM might look to trade an inhib for this if they push straight down. Kiaya
Fighting Rod
forward.
Baron is super risky for GAM. It's supreme display of talent available. Shockwave as well, once again.
They do have the health bar lead. CBL's pretty low. True. Yoshino's half health as well. There's huge supreme display of talent. Gets 3, and they secure the Baron. They need to charge forward here. CBL going low. Carty goes down. Very, very well done.
Hitting there.
Yep. Yijin went huge there. I love it.
And perfect time for Flash as well. They get the Baron. They can restock on vision and then go for the Flash in control of this game. Look at the gold. K up now from Flash after being behind 6k early on this game. We might have the first team to beat GAM in the series. And do you know what the last team that beat GAM in the series was last summer?
Flash.
It was Flash.
Yeah, Flash was the last team to beat them. GAM did not lose a lot of series. I've got to say, just want to put it out there. Someone in our Discord predicted this. If this ends up happening, Amber predicted 2-1 Flash. Can we have the script, please?
Yeah.
How are you predicting this?
Leading predictions overall.
Yeah,
right?
She's nearly perfect. It's ridiculous. She's got the script. She's cheating. Someone to disqualify her. It's not fair. But here is the Cloud Drake spawning. GAM is nowhere close. This should be a free Cloud Soul. We love seeing it.
Another Cloud Drake as well for a Supreme Display and the ult for and the Shockwave. So absolutely no cooldown on those 2 crucial teamfight ultimates.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing to notice here is look at the CS in the bot lane. Despite the fact that Flash is ahead, Slater not getting much of this farm put on him. Overall, actually, Flash not farming particularly well. They're definitely letting some waves drop. They push towards this bot lane tower. Look how fast they are with Cloud Soul.
Yeah.
Just Newman around.
I just want to see the culling. Cloud Soul culling is something to look out for. It's so fun to watch.
He flies around for sure. It's also very good for set. It's not that great. You get the movement speed. Ooh, another sombrero. Fortunate there.
I got Cardi.
Yeah, he's not having a great one with those... Oh, but there's a supreme display of talent. Oh, and the face breaker to stop the E over the wall. Flash is going to charge forward here. Levi has a lot of health, but there's the man slam. And here is the culling that you wanted to see. He's getting some movement going and should be an inhib going down.
It's not hitting anyone. Nice.
No, but he was still fast.
Yeah, he was very fast. So Flash still walks away with the inhibitor. What they did. Cardi missing the ultimate. Also, Yoshino charging forward very far into the enemy base, but still 1 kill on Palette, who definitely has suffered from positioning mistakes a lot this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine if we were seeing better Orianna ults.
The game would be over.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see the gold tab for the bot lane, because Lucian is shockingly even in items, despite being 130 CS down.
So the next few minutes will be very interesting, because we might get to see our first ever in VCS. We might also not, because I would like to see Flash try to force a fight here and try to finish the game before the Elder spawns, because Elder is always a risk. That no matter how far ahead you are, if Elder gets stolen, suddenly the enemy team will win. So I would not want to risk the Elder if I was Flash. So try to... You have no ult whatsoever. Just try to get a pick, get 2 picks maybe. Throw your ults out there. Try it. Yeah, maybe something sticks and you can finish the game before the Elder spawns.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Of course, we could see, as you said, should Elder Drake be stolen, everything turns directly on its head. There is an exposed inhibitor for GAM. I should say in Flash. GAM could take it.
Also exposed inhibitor in the top lane for GAM space. So.
Very true, not the one I was referring to though. So should a fight be lost, we could see the game end very quickly either way. Bit of a knife's edge here is this game of League of Legends. This is why we said that this was our game of the week. Delivering.
Yeah. I think it's Flash favored, like 70%, 30%, but 30% is not too bad for for how horrible the last few fights have been, especially for Palette. There's still a chance. He still has his Flash available. If Palette hits a clean ult Flash engage on the Rakan, maybe Blazes year 1 Flash in with his ult to follow up. So yep, like to see that. Now actually the item we've talked about early on, the Bench's Veil, is coming in very handy for the side of Cardi. Yeah, because Kiaya can't ult him, and he's huge in controlling the fights.
Yeah, very, very true. Also, Kiaya, he had a good bit of impact in that earlier fight in the top lane, but hasn't really done anything since. No. Hasn't been really able to lock anyone down. There is also like the Edge of Night on Yejin, which can make it harder to ult him as well. So overall, Kiaya really struggling in this one, needs to find a way into the team fights. Flash is just waiting for Elder here. They're just delaying.
Yep. Yeah, 40 seconds left. Should be the main objective for Flash. I'm a little bit concerned they're setting up this much vision on the side. Please don't trade Baron for Elder Dragon. We have seen some teams. I don't think
it's going to be a trade. I think they're going to fight.
So we didn't have the Baron timer, but Baron is spawning now. So there's a little bit of time to just go Baron in.
I think this is the right call. I don't think GAM can approach. Yoshino is a big wall. Yejin's here. Levi will probably look for the steal, but he's getting locked up. I'd love to see Yoshino just ult him now. Perfect timing. And the big shockwave comes in, keeping them in the haymaker. So much damage being done. Kiaya goes instantly down. Here comes the bullet time. It doesn't do much. Palette diving forward. This could be Flash winning the game right here. Carti looking to stop the back from Levi. There was a teleport for Dia 1. But my word, there's already a Nexus tower down. They're not going for it. They've
it's they are Dia1 to be the hero. He still has the Flash available.
This is less important than the base fight. I'm going to be totally honest, observers. Can we please look at the base? Can we look at the base? Dia1 finally going down. And Flash is going to dethrone the Kings of Vietnam and win the series 2-1.
So they had to rely on one half troll game, but they still won one serious game. So all credit to Flash. GAM, a little bit too much hubris, maybe, with a second draft, not looking too practiced, also not too coordinated. So Yoshino gets revenge on his former teammates. It has to feel great for Yoshino here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slater also finally able to. So Flash, the promised number 2 team, maybe even number 1, able to take down GAM. We didn't really think it was going to happen, but here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we are. Definitely very interesting here is we do go back and we bring in Mr. Vinny, who we've missed a little bit, of course, as we are back into a little bit of analysis here. Do just want to say before then, if you've enjoyed the series, because I know people are just going to leave, you could scroll down. We have a Patreon and stuff. Feed a caster. It's a good thing to do. But regardless, let's have a talk about this and the implications it has overall. Flash, they look good now that they're drafting right.
Yeah, this is what we all wanted to see. We wanted to see GAM challenge, GAM overcome, and Flash to be able to stand up to GAM so that we actually get a very clear regular season, maybe even playoffs.
Maybe. I mean, before this series, we were saying that GAM has just stepped on everybody. But Flash now, yeah, maybe there was a little bit of trolling in that second game. But, I mean, in the end, it's not like they picked a bad comp. They just picked a comp they're bad at.
Yeah.
So they didn't hard int or anything like that. Vinny, you of course were watching that game. Who do you think were the clutch players? We won't go MVP quite yet, but the clutch players, clutch plays, clutch decisions. What do you think, my friend?
I mean, it's definitely Yoshino and Yujin putting in a lot of work. I'm actually still shocked that they and it was actually clean.
It
was actually relatively clean once they got an actual sizable lead.
Whoo boy, it's crazy, right? We opened.
Great. The first 10 minutes, GAM dominated. The first 20.
Yeah, exactly. I was not prepared for this.
Yeah.
Big Baron blunder.
Yeah, that Baron play was what turned it all.
The Baron play was massive. The split push from Lucian really just stalled it out.
Yeah, nicely done.
And
yeah,
I think actually itemization played a big role here as well. Banshee's Veil and Edge of Kaiser ever doing anything late game. Kaiser was an absolute non-factor.
Very true.
Yep. Now, if only Yoshino had built a Black Cleaver.
That would have made me upset.
Trinity, you know?
I mean, I actually don't think Trinity would have. I think he built well that game, honestly. I think the Abyssal Mask was really good.
The Abyssal Mask, absolutely great. I just think instead of the Tiamat,
Adaptive Helm, was it, right?
Adaptive Helm.
Yes,
Abyssal.
Right.
Abyssal Mask would be really bad.
Yeah, Abyssal Mask.
Yeah.
A big question mark for no mana damage
with
no magic damage, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit sus, honestly. But not what we saw in the end. I mean, I'm still just trying to get my head around this one.
Yeah, it's very exciting times. And I think Yoshino overall, if he had to give...
Sorry, you did cut out a little bit there.
Sorry. So if we had to give a serious MVP, I think Yoshino would be up there. He's getting interviewed right now on the main. I think he had a great performance. It showed that he was the better GAM top laner, as some of us expected as well.
Yeah.
Especially the first game really surprised me with his strong top lane performance into Akali. We would have given him the MVP of that game. Sadly, in the end, Levi found the crucial pick. This could have been a 2-0 for Flash, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely could have been if the first game Levi hadn't had that, as he said, the crucial kick at the end. They were looking to outscale. So
Yeah.
I think let's move on just briefly to the MVP discussion.
Yeah.
Actually kind of tricky for that last game. Yoshino was really, really... So was
Yeah,
Yejin.
absolutely.
Yejin had another very good game.
Yeah, he looks great on that Kiana, by the way. I think people have to ban that against him. It looks great.
It's one of the two, I agree. What actually turned around the Baron fight? There was Yoshino coming in and killing off the Mordekaiser, and later on Kati got a free kill
Yeah,
top
Yujin didn't
side.
really do anything in that
No,
fight.
I think
CBL
Yoshino
was
was very important.
Yoshino and CBL were very important in that fight. I think overall, I'd give it to Yoshino.
Yeah. Very good set performance. I think so far the best set we have seen in VCS.
Yeah, and I don't think it's
also good-
particularly close.
No. Also adapting his build paths between games. We have to see. I really want to see him go for the aggressive build. Maybe if he gets a few solo kills in lane, good Trinity Black Death stance.
I just want to see
aggression.
Cooldown reduction of any kind.
Yeah,
to be
cooldown
perfectly
reduction would be
honest.
really...
Adaptive farm has 10%.
Yeah,
it does,
yeah.
but yeah, I still don't fully agree.
Yeah, I agree.
With the Hydra Rush.
Yeah,
By the way,
the
we've still
Hydra
not
Rush is not
seen
what I liked.
Elder Dragon going down. It has spawned, but no one has taken it. So we have to wait
Aha.
for that.
Baby
We're getting
steps.
closer. We're getting closer.
We're getting
It's
closer.
spawned, but maybe one day it'll go down. VCS, they just play too quick. So,
Yep.
what else do we have to say about that game?
So
GAM needs to take a good look at themselves.
GAM needs to stop
Okay.
trolling. GAM needs to stop trolling. This needs to wake them up.
Yeah.
I think the drafts today were not the greatest. They
there we
had some
go.
problems in draft. Also, the execution on Soraka was horrible. So I'm a little bad at Kiaya. Mad at Kiaya.
Yeah.
He played quite badly. So I think GAM is still fine. They still look like the strongest. They still were consistently able to get advantages against Flash, but they need to shore up their weaknesses in mid game, especially maybe not go for super risky Baron plays. There was no need to go for that Baron that turned around the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
Yeah.
It almost looked like they were just doing a damage check, and then
Yeah.
they committed, and they died. And Flash pretty much just was in control from there to the end of the game. Really proud of Flash. GAM is really good at making you throw. And Flash didn't. Flash held the ball.
It was kind of the same situation as in game one, right? We great start, and Flash slowly came back into the game, actually almost even with an outscaling team composition, and then GAM still made the winning play. This time around, in game 3, Flash was able to cleanly play it to the end, not be exposed to any flanks. To be fair, there were less opportunities for GAM, looking at the team composition as well. But yeah, it's very good to see. And I think Flash can be super happy, especially with Kati, because the big question mark in the GAM matchup is Kati and how Kati can stand up to DR1, potentially one of the strongest players in the league. But I think after seeing this series, Kati was fine in mid lane. He didn't struggle.
No, he looked absolutely fine, weathered DR1's pressure. DR1 got some champs that he was very good on as well. So, overall, Flash, they're contenders. We opened this segment before game 1, maybe poking a little bit of fun at you, Yulwei, for your pick of Flash to win the split.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't I have some egg on my face? They look potentially very, very good.
And is exactly in the fashion I predicted Flash to overcome GAM, actually.
All
with
right.
top lane and bot lane being better and mid lane being so that came to fruition today. Obviously, it's still very early in the season, and Flash needs to beat all the other teams, which GAM will probably do very easily. So it's still a very good sign.
Also, it turns out playing the meta is very good for you.
Yeah, if you draft well, it's actually easier to win games. Shockingly enough.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
big shout out to Surge. I think he stepped up today.
Yeah. So, do we have anything more to say on this game, or are we going to look forward after our break to FTV taking on DBL. Any final statements, boys?
Very exciting series, and
it lived up to match of the week.
VCS so much more interesting. It's great to see GAM being challenged.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, once again, I've been Everyday. With me is our special guest, Vinny. Really appreciate having you here, man. It definitely brings a lot to this little analyst chat. And, of course, Yulwei, who's always here to bring the analysis. Great to have you both. We'll see everyone. It's not a very long break here. It was a 3-game series, about 15 minutes. So we'll see you guys just in a little bit.
Stay tuned for the last series of the week.
Yeah, exactly. Should be fun.
Should be entertaining.
It'll be a game. But yeah, we'll see you soon. Do scroll down, have a look at the panels under the stream. Consider supporting us. Really appreciate it. But we'll see you in just about